Howdy, partners. How are you all doing? Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Haunted West, a town called Hope. We are so happy to have you here. I hope you're all having a lovely Tuesday. This is an amazing, well, I'm very excited to be GMing an amazing game called Haunted West by Chris Spivey from Darker Hue Studios, which you may know from his work on Harlem Unbound, also Cthulhu Confidential. So this is Haunted West, which is a tabletop role-playing game shining the light on the truth on the Old West, but it is an alternate reality, although you can do straight up history if you like, an alternate reality Western game, a supernatural Western game, a Weird West game that is really well grounded in history. You will like learn a lot of really cool things while going through this 800-page tome, and it is a pretty awesome and cool system, and we are playing that for you today. You can actually you can pre-order the Roll20 version because we are currently on Roll20, which is, they are sponsoring us, which is pretty great. Roll20 is a virtual tabletop that allows you to play a whole bunch of different games, like with character sheets and support, like lots of games, but with really cool elements and aspects that you can do. Makes it easier for you to hang out with your friends. And even if you're actually in person, there's some very cool things you can do with Roll20 if you're so inclined. And so you can pick up the Roll20 version of Haunted West. It's in pre-order now and will come out in the future. And of course, the amazing hard copy, I believe it's actually now being distributed by Indie Press Revolution. You can get it, search for it on the internet. I think there's probably a link to it. So you can actually you can get it from Darker Hue Studios. It's a pretty cool book. I recommend it. I just happened to, kickstart it. So that's why I have it. But I recommend it. So that said, before we get into anything, I am going to ask our players, who are amazing, to introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, who you're playing, and from your character's point of view, what happened last week? I would like to ask Quinn to start, because Quinn, if I recall correctly, had like a really mellow last week where it was just like, just hanging out, right? Your character was just hanging out, having a lovely time, maybe some early morning visitors. Quinn.
Yeah, I was just sipping margaritas.
Yeah.
Like laid back, kicked my foot. Oh, actually, that didn't happen. So, Quinn Murphy, do a bunch of stuff, but more pertinent to this, designing games, here and there. And I'm playing Moses Jackson, who runs our character's guest house, where the guests are demons.
Yes.
And from his perspective, what happened last week is that our house guests got a little unruly, and he likes playing with fire, and he is currently getting burned for it. And he's trying to stem the damage as much as he can.
So, fun fact about this game is that this game has something called the Code of the West, which are opposed pairs of values, like superstitious or worldly, lawful or not so lawful, and they are like on a scale from like 1 to 19, right? 1 to 20, but you can go one way or the other. 10 is right in the middle, and 10 to 10. And they are not really, they're not like an alignment or morality necessarily. They are both a combination of how you see yourself and also how the people around you see you. And people will expect things of you based on like your societal expectations sort of are there. So people might think of you as this really great law-abiding person and put that pressure on you if your law-abidingness is very, very high. And you can also sometimes get jacks or negative jacks for have it for those spaces when they show up, right? If, for example, you are very much a nefarious type and you have a pretty, like your nefarious is pretty high and you do something very nefarious at a very important moment, you might get extra jacks for it. If, however, for example, a demon is messing with you and moves your nefariousness boop, 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 towards law abiding, because demons can be that way, and you need to do something very nefarious, then that might not be so great for you, because then you might have a negative showing up, because that's how demons can be. This is just an example, and it is not at all, it is exactly what happened to Moses, Quint's character. Also, that demon said, in exchange for all the information that they got, that the price is that Moses has to turn his brother in some sort of crime that his brother George has done to Bell, our sort of sheriff, in public so that everyone can see it, because the demon thinks that would be hilarious. Speaking of Bell, honey, who are you? Who are you playing? And what happened last week according to your character?
Hello, everybody. I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice, and I am playing Belle, the hunter, the mysterious past. And according to Belle, Raiden made the grits too thick. Nora got engaged and lost all her cows, and Moses ain't got no shoes on, and now they riding a horse. So
who took Buttercup in? Oh yeah, Danny. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah,
Raiden took Buttercup in the house. I was like, if y'all left Buttercup alone in the stable, Nori's gonna have a hissy fit.
No, Buttercup in the house by themselves, and we on a horse because people went after the people that supposedly stole the cows, and ain't nobody had breakfast or a full night of sleep except for Nori. Got a man, got a house, got a meal. Nobody else got that in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. And I actually, if I recall correctly, everything was great. Everything was great for Belle. I mean, except for, the wasting of the grits and all of that. And we cannot forget, Belle carries salt with her wherever she goes. And
Absolutely.
quite a bit of it.
Absolutely.
And not just like a little bit, like some people have hot sauce in their bag, but she's got like a whole thing. A whole thing of salt. Why? Who knows? Well, we'll find out, I think. That leads us to, of course, Brandy. Who are you? Who are you playing? And what happened last week according to your character?
Well, hi, hello. I'm Brandy Rose, aka at the Brandy Rose. I'm a performer, game designer, talk show host, and producer. Mostly creative producer, but unfortunately, I also do tech producing. My condolences to everybody that listens to my podcast. I love you very much. Thank you for all your support. We now have 10 shows in the network, actually, in the newly acquired Petite podcast. So thank you for that. I play Nori, our drover, who uses she, they pronouns. I use they, them pronouns. Nori had dinner. Nori had a wonderful night's sleep, and Nori had breakfast. Yeah. Nobody else had any of these things, but Nori is fed, well rested, a little worried because despite literally getting what he has been hankering for his whole life, James was a little tired. He couldn't quite muster up. He mustered up plenty of enthusiasm, but it was hard to maintain. He was very sleepy. Everybody's been very sleepy. Everybody's very everybody is very lethargic, which is really bad because the governor is literally coming to visit quickly, and we have a lot to get done, and nobody can do anything. I had to kick the ranch hand several times, except Cookie. I would never kick Cookie. And somebody stole all my cows, all my babies.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the one night I'm not home, but it's definitely not the only night that is happening.
And I'm Trooper SJP, and I will be your balladeer for these shenanigans for episode 3 out of our 4-part plus a session 0 mini series. So here's the thing. Let's see what we can come up with here. We are in a town called Hope, and this town is it's a prosperous town. It's growing. It's a growing town. And you have this, it was a much smaller town. It's gotten much bigger because they found silver in a mine. And right now you have you've got a number of homesteads and some shops, a saloon. You have a number of people, however, living in tents. Some of them reinforced, some of them not, because it is, after all, it's kind of a bit of a boom town. And this town has been doing very well. It's a town that was founded by ex-enslaved people who've come together to sort of make this space. And it's a bit of a cooperation with the local Inde people who are indigenous, and other people have come to move into this place. It's kind of a really exciting mix of people, and everything is great, except there was this town next door, Johnstone, and that place, now we call that Old Johnstone. There's a new Johnstone, and that place was a sort of an all-white town that was full of cattle ranchers, very big, very prosperous, and they were aiming to become the county seat. They wanted the place to become a county, and then they wanted to become the county seat. Unfortunately, Hope got real big in the process, and so the original Johnstone, run by our William Johnstone, they started threatening the town, and then our heroes went to go and, dissuade them of that. There was a big, huge demon explosion because, as it turns out, the whole town is set up on ley lines in a mystical pattern to draw power for some reason. We're not quite certain what. And that caused a huge, massive explosion, destroying the entire town, which I suppose that's what happens. But then 6 months ago, good old Mr. Johnstone came back, rebuilt the town exactly with the same dimensions and parameters as before. And within 6 months, it's all back to the way it was, although no one has actually seen anybody there personally. You've not laid eyes on anyone. Questions. Good old Mr. Johnstone, now renaming it Johnstone's Refuge, he came by to say that he wanted to make sure there was no animosity between anyone, and he'd make sure that none of his people would hurt any of you all in the town. That's what he said. He was a little creepy.
Nothing about my cows.
And also in the town. So, and he had these shackles on his hands that were hidden, sort of made of metal, but sort of with no sort of obvious seams. And they seemed sort of mystical in some kind of a way, but we're not quite certain how. We learned from a demon friend, that the town of Johnstone, not everyone there is alive. Not everyone in Johnstone is alive, but also that there is something else that your demon thought was funny and wasn't going to tell you about, because you only get one piece of information, a little bit of hints, but there's something else, of course, going on. He did make some kind of a deal, our Mr. Johnstone, but we don't know exactly what. And we have another character who is here, but is he? This is where I'm gonna put this on. So you have Raiden, who is their gadgeteer, very awesome person who went into the house to go and keep Buttercup safe, and came back the same, maybe, but that's fine. I wouldn't be worried about at all the fact that I'll be playing Raiden right now, and not Danny, who will be with us next week. I would worry about it, but it's fine. When we left off, the cows were missing, and and so what do you have to do? There was like a hint of maybe cows off in the, a little bit of searching and some tracking, and everybody went off, including Raiden, to go and find these cows. And as you're all sort of cresting a hill, leaving the town boundaries, just noting it, Arbel noticed a glint of metal, alerting you to the idea that perhaps you might be walking into an ambush. And that is where we're going to pick up for today, as you have moved right out of the town limits, off over a ridge, down a bit of a hill, a bit of a steep, towards a bit more of a remote place, as it were. And you're looking for your cows, which have all been stolen. And the dreams from your ranch hands, things that you had, well, you had two dreams. Your ranch hands had two different dreams. Three of them had dreams of people, like bandits, coming in and sort of taking the cows. But one of them, your youngest ranch hand, had a dream of people or shadows with a bright line down their center coming in and touching them and then like sucking away their essence. So you can worry about that if you like. But as you are moving, and oh, let's do this because I feel like this is exciting. Just a little bit of this, right? As you're going down the way, that feels just very cowboy for us right now. You can see, come on, who doesn't love that? You can see off like in a bit of like a gully, right? So like in a place where it's like a cut, right? It's like not a full valley, right? You can see all of your cattle grazing, and they've been sort of placed in a nice valley, not super big, as if they've just been sort of led to this space with with kind of nice wooded area. You've got some trees around the area, some scrub. You've got lots of hiding places if there were people going to ambush you, which there are, and you know that. And you have your cattle right in this little gully with it looks like a log has been sort of down and felled into the entrance of this it's kind of like a cauldron, really, if you think about it. And so if you like whistle to them, they couldn't just sort of get over. You'd have to clear that log first.
Fantastic.
What would y'all like to do?
This is such a trap.
It is a trap. I just want you to know it.
Such a trap.
On the plus side, in our combat system, we do have this surprise round, but you won't have to roll for it because you know it's there. Just so you know. Because you know it.
Yep. Well, I assume I'm leading us because I wrote out first and had our friends follow me. Which very lucky that they did, because I almost went out there alone and that would have been really bad.
That'd have been real bad.
I would have died.
Or been knocked
worse.
unconscious and kidnapped. And then he wouldn't know where you were. And then you'd have to break out of wherever they would have held you, and they would have to find you, and it would have been like all epic two directions. But luckily, you're not.
I've done that in another show recently. I'm good. There's so many times you can get kidnapped before you're just like, am I the problem?
Am I the problem?
Is it me? Am I the drama? But yeah, so Moses followed after me,
yes.
And then I think Belle did wait for Raiden, and you guys came out. So I don't know if Belle and Raiden are with us, but
you're they're just a little bit back, right? Okay, they're like, you can think of like you two in the front, you and Moses in the front, and then Belle and Raiden just like a little bit behind.
Ooh, Ariche. Okay. Well, I've got Ariche, my extremely closely bonded, beautiful, beautiful horse, who I don't know if I described, but Ariche is a bay colored quarter horse. So a beautiful dark body, black hair, braids in it. With nice little colorful ribbons. Ariche is very spoiled. Ariche is very well taken care of. And the feeling is mutual because Ariche saved my life. And so I would probably dismount. I'm approach the log. I call out to the cows just so that they hear my voice, because I'm sure they're anxious, they get to sleep, at least not where they're used to. Weird people are around them, and they're very used to the good life with me. So I'm, just trying to soothe them a little bit, just tell them I'm here, I'm helping.
And I will note that Belle has not yet had the chance to warn you.
No. So I'm just going to go up to the log and...
We'll ask now what Moses is doing as you're doing that.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
A
call it
wall
like,
full of zombies.
wait. I mean, this feels like a trap, right? Like this just
It
this whole thing
feels
is.
like my cows need to come home, regardless
I
of if it's
know.
a trap. I mean, what are
Okay.
we gonna do? What are we gonna do if it is? I have my gun, right? I have my gun. I have my gun.
Mhm.
Okay. I was like,
Mhm.
cool, because I'm not
Yeah,
wearing
yeah.
my shirt. So I was like, oh, am I wearing my
I'm not
pants?
saying to do anything other than what you're doing. I'm just saying, I'm pulling out like
Yeah.
I've got like this big, like this gun is as big as I am. It's like a peacemaker, revolver. I'm just saying, let's be prepared.
Uh,
And I'll come join you up
yeah.
Yep.
with
All
no
right. I will
shoes.
pull out the lasso whip combo thing that I have and be like, all right, it's fine. We got this. Gun is, tucked up and ready. Very grateful that I did indeed grab my own pants. And
You're not wearing your own shirt.
not wearing my own shirt.
Is
Not
that
wearing my
the
own shirt.
shirt? You have the walk of shame. That's the shirt of shame.
It is a little bit the shirt of shame. It's a little bit the shirt of shame. It was just like grabbed shirt, tucked in, did not notice that it was like very loose.
Yep. Yep.
Like whatever. There's still a lot to tuck in. So
Yeah.
like I said, we had a fiasco with paint.
Mm-hmm.
So I borrowed clothing and did not want to put on a paint stained shirt.
It's fair. It is
That
fair.
was still wet. So
It is fair.
that's what I get for leaning against a freshly painted kitchen wall.
And that's exactly what happened. That's all that happened.
Yes.
Now, how far behind are Belle and Ray? Like, would we hear their
You hear them come up.
horses? Like,
yeah.
would we?
They're like because they weren't very far back. I'd say like basically about a move back, right? So like they're just like basically a move back behind you. Belle, what about you? As you see Nori sort of go up to this log that was just conveniently fell, blocking off that cattle in a very convenient, not trap sort of a way. And Moses coming up, sort of keeping watch, and you and Raiden are right next to each other on your horses, coming. And Raiden's horse is a little off, perhaps. You're not quite certain why. What do you do?
Belle's gonna dismount while they're still behind. She would have started to drop a little bit further behind the closer they got to the obvious knot setup. And dismount, make sure her quiver is in place, and has already knocked a bow, as she's just going to start scanning the area and looking for cover, because she can see the setup.
And Raiden goes, Miss Belle? And he realizes that something is probably off, and so he gets off of his horse and pulls out like a pretty decent Smith & Wesson pistol, because he's not quite certain what's going on. And this is where we are, my friends. Just because I feel like you might want to know it, this is where we are going to roll initiative. If you would, I would appreciate if you all rolled initiative. That's going to be a 1d10 plus your initiative score, which, do you have it on your character sheet? You do.
Mm-hmm.
You do. If you would, I would appreciate it. And I will write it down. I wonder if I can do it this way. Can I? Do it this way. What do we got? I'm going to write it down. Moses is an 11. Nori is a 7.
I think my initiative is busted because it has me at it. If everyone just has a 3, then my initiative is broken. So let me go. Because I know that my initiative cannot be 28. So
you go so fast. You go so far. We haven't even been attacked yet. You just are clairvoyant.
Maybe. So your initiative should be reflex plus knowledge plus awareness divided by 10. It should usually be between like a 2 and a 4.
Yeah, so reflex plus awareness.
Knowledge
Knowledge.
plus awareness. Those three.
Knowledge.
Divided by
Did I mess
10.
up actually?
Divided by
No.
10, rounded down.
Oh, okay, though. Then I'm fine.
No, I think you're fine.
I forgot. I was
Um,
like, I didn't hear you say divide by 10, and I was like, damn, was I supposed to add all that stuff together?
So 14 plus 12. Crap, 14 plus 12. Plus 17.
And I'm going to roll for...
Who's good at
Raven.
math? Because I need 14.
I am.
Okay,
What you got?
14 plus 12 plus 17.
that is a 30, so 3 plus 3.
Divided
like-
by 10.
Yeah, that's plus 3.
Okay, nice.
Give it to me. What you got?
That's what I thought, but I was like, I'm off work, so I might not remember math.
15, 30.
Okay.
Oh, nice. All right. Bell.
How long are combat rounds?
Combat rounds. In a combat round, you can do 4 things. You can do a primary, which is usually going to be like attacking. You can do a partial, which is usually like your movement or reloading. You can do a prompt, which is something like aiming, and then you have 1 reaction, which is your defense, and you can do free actions all you want. And so that's about what you can do in a round. There are also a couple of like full round actions, like covering fire, things that are like very, very long. But generally speaking, you've got those 4 things you can do if you want to do them. Let me roll for Raiden, if you don't mind. Hey, Raiden, give me that's a 5. So Raiden is at a 15. And let me roll for friends. Friends. Rolled a 7. That's a 10.
I mean, as long as they're not guests, then we're
No,
cool.
they're friends. Friends.
Oh.
Raiden gets to go first, and Raiden doesn't see them. So Raiden is going to go and see if he can spot some of them at the moment. Let's see. What are your awareness? Here we go. Let's see what we have here. Oh. All right. So I'm going to note that he rolled a 33 under 42, and a 33 is an ace, which is a critical success, because anytime you get doubles, that's under your skill, you get a bonus. So he looks around like with his pistol, a good Smith & Wesson. It's a pretty big, impressive pistol. Bell, I don't think you've ever seen him shoot a pistol before. I don't think you have. Have you? I don't think you have. But he sort of points, and you can see this like a group of there's like a set of tree. There's like a tree line that's above this sort of like a cauldron, and he sees a couple of people up there in this sort of like a short distance. When he goes, Miss Bell, up there on the ridge line, and you can see up there. You see about 6 or 7 people with pistols lurking and waiting for you, and he is not quite certain what your orders are, and so he will pass it to you. And Belle, you get to go before they do.
Is Moses before me?
Mm-mm. Yes, he is. Moses,
Yes.
You get to go next. Yes, that's good. That's good.
So is just trying to place it, is any of that stuff happening like in earshot?
Absolutely.
Or-
He's yelling it out to all of
Okay.
you so you can hear it. And he's pointing
Okay.
out so you can see it. He
What?
basically has set up so you
Oh.
can all notice where they all are. And there are, you see
Okay.
6 of them. And they look like bandits. They look to be not friendly. They look to be laying in wait to attack you with an ambush. And when Raiden calls out, they look a little surprised, actually, because they didn't think that they'd be spotted.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna lead with the bluff. Here, I'm just gonna I've got my gun in hand. I'm just been like, hey, I want to give you all a chance to turn yourselves in before I summon a friend to do much worse, and sort of see if I can at least shake them up a bit.
I believe that. Please roll if you do not mind. I would love to see a good bluff from you. That may be very nice. Okay. I think that'd be awesome.
I don't know if it helps, but Nori looks straight panicked at those words leaving your mouth.
Oh my god! Why do I keep failing so hard at this?
Please, God, no. Stop!
Why
is it like this?
You say that, and they do not seem to know what you're talking about, right? Beautiful. They're like,
that's sort of what I wanted to kind of get out of it. Like, if they know, they're spooked, but if they don't know, they're just like, you're crazy. So,
but they're actually sure who you're talking about, which means they're not fully read in on things, let's say. Which, Belle.
So they didn't seen us, we didn't seen them. There's no, we're gonna prepare or get ready. Nope, we didn't just walk right into this, and everybody is being loud. Okay, so let's just takes a moment to take it in. Looks at Moses. I'm gonna get to you in this. Right. Oh, we not do. You got a gun? Why would? All right. Hey y'all, good morning.
They look to be how do you put it? They seem to have ill intent in their eyes, is how I would frame it.
Yep. All right, so I have had a stressful morning so far. I have not eaten or gotten anything that I normally get in the morning to get me ready. I have not prepared myself for engagement with human beings outside of the ones I actually like. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity right now to just back off so we can get this baby's cows back where they're supposed to be. Or else, you know how this goes.
One of them shouts out, "There are 6 of us and only 4 of you. And we've got the high ground. And you know what that means."
God.
Oh, look at that. Y'all know how to do mathematics as well. Look at that. Counting and all of that is wonderful. Maybe you can apply to be a teacher. But what I am telling you at this moment is that if you do not back off, if you push this into an engagement of violence, your mamas, your daddies, and everybody else may be getting pieces of you back when you go home for dinner tonight instead of your whole selves. And I believe that you should be able to be your whole authentic self with those that you love. So
they are going to shoot at you.
yes,
that is what they're going to do. Now, these people are wranglers, so they're not like high-powered people, but they have group tactics. So there are 6 of them, and 5 of them are going to give a bonus, because you can give a bonus to your friends, to one of them, and that one's going to take the shot. Yeah, that's awesome for them. 25 plus 4, so that'll be a 65. I'm gonna roll it. They're gonna take aim at Belle, because Belle, for reasons. That's a 10, which that's 5 jacks. Let me roll my damage. They've got little pistols, right? They've got a little pistol. It's a 1d6. That's a 4. And each jack can add to that damage. So they're going to use their jacks to add to their damage. And that's just going to be, what is it? It's a 5, so 9 damage.
Okay.
But please note, you can subtract your gumption from that damage, because your gumption as a hero, right, is like I said, it's like your own internal armor. And so you can subtract whatever damage is thrown at you.
Is it plot armor?
No, it's like Paragon armor. Do you know what I mean? It's because you all are legends, as it were. Legends. And that damage is going to have to go to your vitality. What do you have going on?
You said subtract with gumption.
Yes, please.
What the heck is okay, so I have 33 gumption. And how does the subtraction for everyone to know that's watching work with gumption?
How much gumption do you have?
This thing threw all my math off. It says 33, but I don't think that's right. So I think it's 3.
It should be 3,
Yeah.
which means you would take 6 damage.
Correct. Now I have jacks as well, and can jacks at all affect the type of damage that you take?
Ooh, now you can spend grit is what you can do. Let me see, where's your grit? You can spend your grit to help. You can spend your grit to give plus to your skill level, to add to your initiative if you wanted, and you can spend grit to reduce damage, but that's your grit that you have to spend to do that.
Guys, I'll take this 6 damage from a gunshot, and in this particular system, just so the viewers can know as well, the dodge and other reflex skills do not play any part into it. Correct?
You do have a defense.
That's
right.
Yes.
You can dive for cover. Now I put myself all up in there where I just pulled my page down because I wanted to get it right in there. That's going to come in at you, right? So you can go for your defense. Let me get it for you right up here. That was your grit, because that's going to be bad for you. You don't want to have it. There we go. Thank you. There we go. You're going to want to. You can drop prone. You can dodge, right? If you dodge, you can attempt to do so, and that's diving out of the way. And if you succeed, you by the number of how many jacks they scored, you can negate that attack. So you can try to drop out of the way, as a way to try to get out of there. You can also drop prone.
If you drop prone, that affects your actions, does it not?
Well, yes, but
Okay.
it makes it harder for people to hit you.
All right, and does dodge count as an action, or do I still have an action after
You still
their
do.
attack?
It's just a reaction, and you have one
Okay.
reaction.
So this is probably going to fail, but so that for people watching, this is how a dodge looks, I think.
Oof.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a failure, correct? Yes. All right. And so.
If you take 6.
Yeah, I already marked that there.
Which makes you whooped.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a -5 penalty because you get this. It's a big shot. It's a huge blow.
I am a tiny person. So
you are a tiny person, and this is a huge gunshot that hits you in your shoulder, perhaps. And you all can see that Belle gets hit badly, which leads it to Nori.
Oh boy.
So I do not get an attack. The dodge was the action.
No, that
and
was
then it
your
moves-
your dodge was your reaction.
Mhm.
But they went before you. Would you like to take your action now? Because you were chatting with them.
Yes, it was to see if they were going to attack.
Oh, they were
Yep.
totally going to attack.
So we'll just go ahead and do this and -5.
And you can also aim as your partial, which will give you a +10, so it'll negate that, right? You'll give you +5 total if you aim.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit this button.
Ooh. That's
And-
84 out of 70.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I got hit in the shoulder, so I am not adding anything to it.
It does. So you miss.
Mm-hmm.
Nori.
Okay, well, this is all going to hell in a handbasket really, really quickly. The bluff scared a little bit of the color out of me. And then Belle getting shot is just peachy keen.
Yep.
But I am unflinching and I am the drover and these are my babies and you are scaring my cows, which is what Nori says out loud. What? Beautiful. Thank you. Please make sure to make that noise at least 2 more times in game. Thank you. Every 10 minutes. Let me just pull up my copy of Haunted West. Just the primary actions. And is just they're too far away for me to lasso.
But
so
you can move.
I can move, yes. But first and foremost, I would like to shoot back at the one that shot Belle, which is, I think, long arms, right? Oh boy, okay.
You have a rifle, yes?
I do. No, I don't think it's a rifle. I don't think it's a rifle. It's in my pants. I'm not as familiar with guns. It's like hooked to my pants, not in my pants, like hooked to my pants. So I'm not entirely sure about the guns of the time, but it's probably something a little bit more around this size than this big, because I don't think I had the wherewithal in the moment to grab a rifle. So I think I just came in with what I had, which is what that would be like. Would that be a revolver? Is that what that would be called? Yes. So I have a revolver. So that's long arms, and then
that would be short arms.
That'd be short arms. Oh, I thought long arms, short arms meant the distance. Oh no.
So I imagine you have your rifle with you.
Yes, I do have a rifle with me. Hi, hello, hi, yes.
Probably on your saddle, is what I imagine.
Yes.
Yes, I'm just saying that's what I imagine.
That is true. Ariche stays ready, so I don't have to get ready. The horse has my back.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I was going to say, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, you can see my character sheet, huh? Yeah, you are right. I do have a rifle. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying that I feel like you have a rifle.
Otherwise, I would have died. Oh, I got jacks. I never get jacks. I've also never rolled a success before.
Ooh. So
5 success, 3 jacks, which means I gotta pull my little coins here on Roll20.
Or you can use them for bonus damage.
Ooh, that's right. Bye-bye coins. Goodbye coin. Farewell coins.
I would ask if you don't mind for you to roll your damage.
Yes. And that is actually just gonna grab a separate dice then. Oh, what is the damage dice?
That would be for your rifle. What is your
Roll20.
rifle?
Let me see. That is a good question. What is my rifle? That feels existential, that question.
I know it is a much larger question. What is your rifle? If you tell me what type of rifle you have, I can look it up for you.
It would be great if I knew what types of rifles there were. But Belle, what do you think kind of rifle do I have? You know guns better than I do.
I was about to tell you, it's on the page where you get the list of stuff that you can buy.
Yeah, I think I'm close to it. Do you have the page number? Sure. I might have passed it accidentally, actually, now that I'm looking at it.
Page 340.
Oh yeah, I was on the wrong page.
349.
Perfect. Yes, okay. I have that is not a rifle. Rifles are long. Okay, pistols. My dad is like flinching right now in East Texas because he is a card carrying member of the NRA and I don't know anything about guns. Let us say, okay, it is a, oh boy, these are very,
Maybe like something very nice, like a
Hmm.
Winchester repeater. That could be
Yeah.
very nice.
yes, I think that looks nice. That looks reliable for sure.
Yes,
So
yeah.
yes, let us say I have a Winchester repeater. Spent my $30 on that too.
I mean, you could go with the yellow boy, which is a little bit cheaper,
Mm.
and it's a little bit faster to reload, if you'd like.
Let me see. I'm
I
just
feel like
comparing their
this-
stats. You know what? Yes, let us go with the cheaper option. We are nothing if not frugal. I am indigenous after all. So let us go with so it's 2d6 damage
Yes, please.
without jacks, and
Mhm.
then.
And by the way, they didn't dodge. They were not successful at that dodge, just so you know.
Cool. So it's rolling 2d6, and then
Mhm.
how much extra damage would a jack be?
One per jack.
One dice
One damage per
or
jack.
one damage. Okay. So I'm gonna use two of the jacks and keep one just in case. Can't hurt. Never know when
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one again. So that's 2d6 plus 2. That is a 7.
I have a question for you.
Oh yes.
This is important.
Oh yes.
Tell me how you killed this one.
Oh. Well, he scared my cows. So it's very, I'm the drover. This is a Western. I am
I wanna
like
see it.
this soul, this heart. So
Yeah.
I see them shoot at my dear friend and hurt my dear friend. They have terrified my cows. They probably retroactively scared the living willies out of my foreman and my ranchers, and they probably messed with Cookie's sleep, and that is simply unforgivable.
Mhm.
So out loud she just goes, gunshot scared my cows, and like just straight up like lifts it with two hands is what you use for a rifle, sure.
In the pocket.
Is it two hands? Is
Yep,
right
yep.
there, is in the shoulder. It's gonna she's used to it. This is all hardened. And this is all muscle. It's not on me. Don't look for muscle here. So this is spaghetti. But like spaghetti Western. And Honey's face. And she takes aim and just closes like an eye a little bit. Can you tell I've only held a short, small gun before? And the hand's supposed to be over here. And she just shoots right in the chest. So if I remember correctly, these are quite big shots. I do not want to have somebody's head explode on stream. So just in the chest, hits right in the dead center of the chest.
And this fellow, because it's a Western, right, goes, right, very dramatically falls over, because that's what happens in Westerns. And like, falls over and collapses. And the other 5 sort of look a little taken aback. Like, I got Clem! Get him! Yeah. And Raiden
Damn right I got Clem.
takes aim with his pistol and fires at one of them. And I don't think you've ever, and I'm going to note this with an 80, hits.
Also looking in shock because I've known Raiden since he was a child, and I was like,
As far as you know, you're not quite certain Raiden can actually shoot a pistol. You've never seen him shoot a pistol. You do not know if that's even... It's a bit of a question. And he, like, pulls out the Smith & Wesson, this 44, aims, so got a bit of a distance to him, takes a breath, mutters something under his breath, lines it up, aims the sights, and perfectly with quiet silence hits this one right in the shoulder. This person staggers, but doesn't go down, but looks not good. And then Raiden sort of pulls back and like sort of moves behind cover. And there is something very practiced about Raiden's movement, as if he has been gunfighting all his life. Moses,
Whose gun is that?
It's a good question. You've never seen that gun before.
I'm gonna like take note of that, and I'm just gonna look back and like, Ray, let's talk later. The is there cover nearby?
You've got like they're up there, so they're gonna have like a pretty good visibility.
Is there like a rock?
Yes, there's because you saw that like you have that kind of a little bit of tree line, so you can hit behind there if you like.
Okay, yeah. So I will. So like, will it be like a partial to?
Yeah.
Get over there. Okay, so I will like run up and like kind of slide. Yeah, like slide into the thing, and then I'll just come up and throw up a shot. It's very over dramatic, right? It is not cool in practice. It's like like it
I feel like
as
it might
fancy
be.
as possible. Yeah.
Also, you can get your aim in for another 10%, a 10% bonus.
Oh, do I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'll aim in a weird way, but I will aim.
Their dodge isn't very good, is all I'm trying to tell you. I mean, just for no particular reason. Their dodge.
Oh, my dodge is terrible.
Well, their dodge is bad too. I mean,
Thank God.
Okay. So the aim gives me 10%. Should I? Are we just doing the thing where I just put it in the box?
No, the box will mess it up. Add it. Yeah, in your
in the skill. Sorry.
Yeah, put it in the skill box.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you let me roll my dodge? Yeah, that is not enough. It's not enough. Sadly for them. Could you roll your damage?
Oh yeah, please. I'm going to use my all 3 jacks for the damage too.
Yeah, I want to see how that goes.
8 plus. I think it's 1d8 plus 1. So plus 4. Okay. So the thing to understand is this.
You don't.
Sorry.
You do that's a. You rolled an 8 on a 1d8. You can keep those jacks, not in the damage if you like.
Oh, okay, sure.
You can just keep those jacks for other things. You don't.
I will do that.
You don't have to use them for that attack, but you should tell me how you take this one out.
Okay. So the thing to understand is, like I've said before, this thing is like a hand cannon. Moses is not a big guy. This thing is like, it's a peacemaker. This thing is like huge. And so like he gets up there and he's like, yeah, with his fancy shot. This is not proper form, right? For anybody who's ever done anything. And then he like shoots and like the recoil like throws him back. In the dirt, but then also like simultaneously, like he hits the guy, and he like both him and the guy like go like onto their backs, but Moses gets up.
Belle, it is you. What do you do? There are 3 people who seem completely uninjured on the other side of the sort of like caldera. You've got 2 guys that are down, 1 guy that is very injured.
Bella's just gonna look at Raiden, and he at the moment does not really have anything else to say except for, all right, I do not have to. Are you gonna finish the job? She wants to know if he's going to continue that one.
And he goes, yes, Miss Bell.
All right. And then she'll aim to someone who is not injured. Pull back up the sheet that I keep having to close because
I'm gonna have some questions, as a matter of fact.
resources. Oh, and you want me to, when I do my aim, just go ahead and quickly just change the number in the box completely?
Yeah, to add 10 to it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Because then it ups your oh. I see. That's 5 jacks. Would you like to roll damage before you spend those jacks?
Yes, my damage is going to be 1d8.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate your patience. I'm using
Oh.
a tiny laptop screen, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a damage bonus on the bow?
I don't think so. Strangely enough, no.
Because
Yeah.
you rolled a 1. Do you want to spend all of your jacks?
So I have a lot already saved up.
Oh,
So
that's true.
because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still sitting in my bank, and I got another 5. So let's just use up 5.
Could you tell me how you take this one out with your bow and arrow? Because, by the way, they have 6 hit points.
Yeah.
They have 6 vitality.
I was doing math in my head. So you just see
Injured,
Belle,
though. You're injured. I want to see how you do it while you're injured.
Belle takes that hit, thankfully in her non-dominant. I get a strength bonus to archery. I will have to redo that math. I missed that one. I have a damage bonus for other things, but I didn't put in my archery.
That is good.
Anyways, she braces herself against something firm, probably a tree, because she can't do it against a person. Adjusts herself, waits until waits until Moses takes his shot, so there's almost a distraction from that sound, and then lets that arrow fly. And she's got a tighter pull on that arrow, on that bow, than most people would expect for her size and height. And then aims directly at the person at the edge. If there's 3 lined up still, she's picking up the one to the farthest right, and then nods her head and just knocks the next arrow. No response, just complete emotionless expression.
Just.
Yep.
And that one sort of stands there for a moment, and then, like, his pistol tumbles out of his hand as he falls over.
After a moment, all right, I mean, y'all still can go on home right now if you want to.
And there are 3 of them, and one of them is like, no. One of the other ones is like, one of them is like a little concerned about the situation, but one of them is going to give aid to their brethren, and they're going to take a shot at Moses, because Moses just slid across in this like epic, sort of massively exciting way, and that seems sort of dangerous. So this one's going to come at you, and is going to roll a 97, which is not a success. So it comes out like, we're not going anywhere, and like just aims, like sort of rolls up like in this very dramatic and exciting way, and is about to take you down, and pulls out the pistol, and it comes, you can see it glinting in the sky, and he goes, bah, bah, bah! And it hits, like there's a little bit of little bits of wood sort of like, I would say near you, but it's really not that near you, to be honest. You can imagine this person is, I don't want to tell you that they shot anywhere near you. I really would say more like they shot quite wide, actually, and it was a little embarrassing for them, is the best way to put it. And then one of them, you can see the one that got injured, mounts up on a horse, and looks like they're going to maybe try to run for it. Nori.
Not running for it on my watch.
So there are 2 that are sticking, and one is like,
Fine. Maybe I'll make him piss his pants. I have to pull up my character sheet because I was looking at the jacks. Okay. I'm going to take aim at the one just logically that is closest to me.
Mhm.
Basically, all I'm doing is shifting slightly
Yeah,
from where
yeah.
I just shot the other one, and I'm going to shoot again. Oops, sorry, I think I accidentally hit that twice. Just ignore
You
the.
did. Both of them are fails.
Great, sick,
Tell me
amazing.
about that. Tell me about what happens, because you have two that are sort of hunkered down, one that's about ready to leave. Tell me about how that fail happened.
So the fail happened because maybe I did not reload correctly, because I am in a rush and I am trying to do this, so my hand possibly slipped, and I just had a bit of a failure to launch, really, and nothing happened. There was no loud backfire so much as like I was like and then I have to do the thing and the and the thing and
rapid.
don't even.
I know what it is. Raiden goes, "Don't worry, I got you, Miss Nori," and right.
Just get this affronted noise of like, "Excuse me."
You're like, I don't know what's going on with Raiden. And Raiden sort of like whips around and takes a shot at the one that you had taken a shot at, just to, to try to make sure you're okay. And hits with like, there's a very calm coolness about Raiden at the moment. Raiden just...
Biggest red flag, TBH.
Perhaps, yes. Just seems to be very relaxed about everything. And hits that one, but doesn't down it yet again. Right? Just hit, like, again, doesn't down it, but injures it heavily. So now you have two very injured, one and one that is not injured at all. Moses. One's getting on a horse. Gonna be...
Well, I think I am. So like I shot, I went to my back, and like then like the other one shot wide, and I was just like I was on my back, like exposed, and then like he didn't get anywhere near me.
Nope.
I'm feeling pretty sharp right now, so I like get back up behind cover, and bang! I'm gonna shoot the guy trying to get away on the horse.
Is due.
And
the one trying to get away.
It was his first mistake. Let's see. So aiming and shooting.
Oh,
and an ace.
We have to take a moment. That's an ace. So first you have those 3 jacks, which please take them, keep them on your sheet.
Okay. I'll take them and keep them.
Please take an ace. Automatically kills this one. Automatically, it's an auto shot on the one that is trying to escape. An ace will kill Wranglers, just like. And I want you to tell me how this happens. You've got this one. He's been hit on his side, right? And he's like clambers up on the horse, and he's about to go and take off to escape. So I don't know to go where. And you have just rolled over on your side, right? Tell me how this happens.
Yeah, well, like he actually starts he's like aiming, and he's actually starts riding on the horse, and I just aim, and then hit him square in the back, and he actually like rides for a few more paces, and then falls off, and the horse keeps going.
Yeah, absolutely. Belle. There are 2. One uninjured, one injured.
All right, now Belle has like a hole. She's just bleeding, and she's occasionally doing this, but she's already knocked the next arrow. All right, so who wants to do the next mathematical equation here concerning how many of y'all versus how many of us are currently left?
They don't look super happy, and I don't mean that in a we're going to get you kind of a way, but more of a we should probably leave kind of a way, is I think the best way to put that. They don't look excited.
If y'all don't want to go back and tell whoever it is that's obviously paying you for this, because ain't nobody stealing cows, and not like y'all would have led with a hey, we'll give them back for some money, but that didn't even happen at all. So y'all can come over here and come back with me into town. You'll get a good meal, some coffee, and we'll
Ass
discuss.
kicking.
Okay, Nora, just
It's better than death.
I was gonna, you know how I'm sort of doing the job in the NS.
You're
Okay,
right.
anyways, y'all can come over here, or unfortunately, y'all can go somewhere else that will be the dirt.
Can you roll for me maybe command or convince
Let's see what
or
I have.
what would you like? Yeah, something along those lines.
Because I do have something.
And you could
that-
always use your jacks for an automatic success.
You said command
Mhm.
or. Well, I have intimidation, but I also have. Okay, I just have intimidation, it looks like.
Oh, that would work too. I mean, you just killed a bunch of them. Intimidation would also work. That's also fine.
And you said I can use my jacks for an automatic success?
You can either use jacks for an automatic success or to increase your skill by 10% per jack.
And how many jacks do I have to use for an automatic success?
Just one. But the more jacks you use, the more impressive it is.
Yeah, but if I roll this and I majorly fail, it's not gonna matter. So just
So you can just use a couple of jacks. You can use one for just an automatic success, or you can use more to get like a special effect, for example.
let's just go ahead and use a jack for the sake of narrative flow. As a
Which
shiny
jack? From which skill?
Ooh,
Because that will make a difference.
Yes, it will. Let us use a jack from. This is going to sound odd, but from observation.
Okay, tell me how that helps you.
She is observing how many people are left, how many people have died, the obvious thing, but she's also trying to see from where she is the body language, the posture. Do they look like they are afraid? Do they look like they are nervous? Do they look like they are currently weighing their options because they are afraid of something more than getting shot and killed?
I will tell you something. If you spend 2 more jacks, you get a clue. One will actually do it because one's a minor. Give you something.
Okay.
Spin one more.
I will spin one more. Yes.
All right. As you threaten and intimidate them, noting the math, noting the death that is possible for them. I don't feel bad for them, actually. The one who's uninjured and the one who's injured is like, he goes, all right, well, forget this. We're not being paid enough. Come on. And one of them just like helps the other get on their horse, and they sort of take off because you threaten them. So they're going to leave. But one of them, the one who was injured, drops something as they're getting up on their horses to go. Not on purpose. They're just real messed up. Their hat.
All right. Nora, baby, get your cows. Do whatever you need to do. Go get some help. Whatever you need. Raiden.
On it.
She's bleeding. And Raiden's like, Miss Bell? Now, if I remember correctly, Raiden is pretty good at medicine, right?
Yes.
We know this about Raiden. We've seen it.
Yes.
And so Raiden's like, Miss Bell, you all right? I should go after him.
No, but okay. Look, I don't know what happened. You slept like someone was attacking you in the sleep, and there's toes all over the edge of my bed and all this kind of stuff going on. And I know you haven't eaten this morning, but I'm gonna need whatever switch thing happened to switch it back, because pretty much then lost half my blood right now, and there's not much in there to start with. So if you could take a look. I mean, I'd do it myself, but one arm kind of thing.
We can't let them get away. And he like hops up on his horse to go chase after them.
Right, and if you don't get your behind off that horse, okay.
Miss Bell, I'll be right back.
What?
And he chases after them on his horse, your medic.
The hell is he going?
Did Raiden make an invention that sent him back in time to the army?
Did he get electrocuted again?
Bell is already knocking the arrow. Says somebody go get him, or he gonna be limping back.
Moses, can you go get him? I have to get the cows and I guess I'm the sharpshooter here. Oh no, I gotta go get him, huh? Well,
I mean,
could you be if you're careful, maybe you could
bleeding.
get on a cow. Yeah, you're bleeding. Okay,
she's
get
bleeding.
on the cow. Get on like the big Buttercup's mom. Blossom.
I've got Rue, and
Okay.
Belle has a Morgan Mustang kind of beautiful horse that is literally the color of Rue. It's this caramelized brown, and does not like anybody but Belle. Like, this was the horse that everyone was like, we can't do anything. Knows all the basic commands, how to hide, how to be quiet, all the rest of that. But she's just, I got Rue, but
well, let's see. Do I have anything in medicine? Can I help you real quick before I go off after this?
Or some first aid.
Weirdo.
Belle has first aid, but she's just like,
But you can't use it, can you?
I could, but she's just used to having her bestie.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Normally, and you better. I think my first aid is a total 16, so I could try, but oh boy, it's a hit or miss.
My first aid is 15. You would end up in a worse spot than you began.
You can aid each other.
That is true.
Aid each other. I just want to note that normally Raiden would just go and just jump in there and do that rather than shoot people.
Also, the shooting was weird. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Moses, can you get the cows? All you have to do is move this log. They'll go home on their own. They know where they are. They just can't get over this thing. So if you can move this log, please don't use any guests to do so.
I don't use them for everything.
But you use them enough. Please, bluff damn near scared me out of my mind. Please.
But
imagine if they knew anything that would have worked for them too. See, and I wasn't going to use them. Just the I'm getting the cows.
Okay.
Anyway, get the cows.
Moses, can I just ask you a question, Moses? Just one tiny question. If somebody don't know who you are or that you are in the hospitality business, now just follow along with me here, because I've had some blood loss and maybe my logic is flawed. Okay. If people don't know you in the hospitality business and you like, hey, stop doing that or I'll let somebody in your room, and they don't know what you're talking about, can you please explicate to me how that was supposed to have helped us in this particular situation?
Well, I suspected that they might be from our friends in Johnston who might know. And
I'm gonna get on my horse and go. This is a lot. This is taking too long.
All right, that works for me. You thought they might be sent, and they would know something, and they'd be like, "Ooh, he got this." And
so we got that information. They didn't. So
all right, you did good with the shooting and everything. You didn't get shot.
Nori, do you want to go right after him, or do you want to pick up the thing that was dropped?
I will pick up the thing that was dropped and then hop on RHA. What was dropped?
In his hat, there's a piece of paper with writing on it.
Weird. Can I read?
Oh, you can read. I mean, I assume you can read. The handwriting is very nice. very nice handwriting.
Definitely
Somebody,
not Raiden's handwriting.
no, something Raiden had dropped. One of the bandits dropped it. Somebody who's very well educated, and it's like a small map of hope, and it's got a little circle around your ranch. Nice little circle, and it says in very nice handwriting, lead them out of the city limits and then kill them.
Oh, I think I know who writes like this.
I couldn't really say.
Before I get on Adiche, I'm gonna hand it to Belle. And like very like Log Eyes will be like, I'm pretty sure we know who wrote this. I think this means you two need to get back to town immediately. I will be right there with Raiden. I think, and if I can't get him, I will come back without him. We'll send people out for him. But apparently, he got electrocuted in a way that made him be able to shoot, so he can take care of himself. But I'm gonna go get him. But you guys need to go back to town immediately. They wanted us out of here for a reason.
Weird. Where do you with that first aid roll, y'all?
We didn't make it.
Did you roll?
No, I forgot.
Just
No,
You guys were
somebody's
talking. It was
bleeding.
taking too long. I left.
Somebody's bleeding. Yeah, I'm just saying that Raiden's running away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I gotta go after Raiden. So you are on your own, Moses. Sorry.
And Belle is just gonna to look at Moses, and it's gonna be one of those I look at you and you look at me kind of moments where she's just like, you know who we haven't seen in a minute? We have not seen Mama Hattie. Let's go into town and see if she could do something about my shoulder, because you ain't got no shoes on and it looked like you had a rough night. And I know that you were really capable, but I kind of need my shoulder.
Sure, let's go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'll let you put some pressure on it if you, because you got some good luck today. So maybe, but I've never seen you jump in with somebody like ready to get electrocuted or.
I mean, that's not usually what I do. So,
Yeah.
you know, this now one question I have to ask is: a first aid, like I'm likely to fail it? Is it likely to cause damage if I fail?
No, I mean, like you get like some kind of a critical failure. No, it's just that if you succeed, you get one. You heal one, but Jax will give you extra healing.
Okay, so it's not really so I can try it.
Yes.
And it won't like blow Bell up. So
That is
okay.
correct.
So let's try this.
Okay.
That is
and
correct.
then okay.
Belle's gonna say okay. So.
Okay, so I just failed. It was just like I try and do something. I was just like, okay.
But you have to tell me how you failed. That's the penalty. You have to tell me how you tried to do the first aid and it does not work.
I mean, I think it is like one of these things where it's like, okay, it's like, you know, there's this bleeding shoulder, and it's like, okay, pressure. I got this. And then like I go and it's just like not in the right place. It is bleeding a little more. I was like, okay. You know, like I try a couple places and I don't make it any better, and I'm just like, I just back away. Let's stop there.
Oh. Let's. Oh, okay. We go. Oh my! I just in my mind, like I'm so thankful that I have self-control because I have a knife in my boot, and in my mind, I just saw vividly the moment you pushed on it that it just came out. It was on my hand, and I just gave you a matching one, not out of malice, but just like,
yeah.
Oh. Come on. She just kind of just kind of making sure herself is in get root. Where your horse at? Come on, we gotta go to the town and see Mama Hattie and this is not a good morning. Has not been good morning. But you did good.
Not at all, actually.
Yeah.
I am going to need a couple of things right about now. Let's talk about the things I'm going to need in a friendly and not at all stressful way. One, I'm going to need writing from Nori.
Oh.
Boy.
I'm going to need writing from all of you, actually.
No, I mean, okay.
I mean, no, it's fine.
no.
No,
I mean,
it's fine.
I'd be fine with it. It's totally fine. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it at all. You know,
I did not update that stat. This is where we're at now.
okay.
I got to keep some jacks though, right?
Yes, you have three short arm jacks. And you can always spend one for an automatic success.
Might just.
I'm gonna do that.
that.
I feel like my like confidence from like my sudden burst of sharpshooting. Actually, I'm just like kind of like, nope, can't tell me nothing. Like not even that. I'm a exceptionally poor writer, right? Like I'm just kind of keeping my swagger.
Okay. Now that makes sense to me. I'm fine with that. Now, Belle is lagging behind a bit, right? Is not as fast on her horse as she could be. She doesn't fall off or anything like that, right? She can ride. It's just that she's slow. And some people felt like they needed to get to town quickly. So I don't know how you feel about this situation. What are you going to do about this?
About Belle coming in sort of slow, like should like so basically like should I like go ahead on my own or should I?
What do you want to do? Because she's lagging a little bit.
Like how far? Like kind of like
she's falling behind. You know, she's bleeding. You know what I mean? Like you tried to, you know, but then you didn't stop the blood. And yeah.
Well, I guess if I could get, well, Hattie's not going to be like running back out to. I was going to say maybe I could go get her and like drag her out. I was like, that's not going to work. I don't know. I feel like I might have to kind of go. You know, like I don't want Belle to like fall behind and then sort of have something happen. So like I have to be like I think I have to be there just to make sure that with the shoulder, she gets there.
Yeah.
So I will like actually like slow down and keep pace.
So you will basically cover her, right? And you can see it's just you know, it's just that little. She's bleeding a lot. Really, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, there's like a lot of bleeding going on. It kind of makes it hard to ride. Which means you're going to take a little bit longer to get to town, which I'm sure won't be a problem. That said, let me ride my riding over here, if you don't mind. Nori, you start riding. Raiden is far ahead of you.
Great.
Raiden, the Raiden you remember, let me just go check his character sheet to see, you know, how good Raiden's riding is. Hello, how are you? Oh, huh. You know Raiden. You know Raiden. You have ridden with Raiden. And Raiden is a okay rider. Okay, you know, Raiden is riding way better than you have seen him ride before. And that's surprising. He is pulling ahead of you quite a lot, and it looks you're going to need some really fancy riding to catch up with him. By the way, we're in a chase at the moment. He's actually riding. Let me put it this way. If we were going to put like abstract numbers, right? Just abstract. Let's say that if you were going to put a number on the Raiden that you know's writing skill from like 0 to 100, you would say that like he has like a 35, like just if you're going to like, randomly assess it. And like, let's say like if one were to roll and one rolled a 33, that would be like, oh, you succeeded, but basically just sort of like you did. But this Raiden succeeds a lot better than that, as if his writing skill were not a 35, but maybe something quite higher than that. So, and he pulls ahead. What do you want to do about that?
Call out to him probably because good faith is, I think my friend electrocuted himself. Just me, Raiden, right? Would you slow down? Where in the hell did you learn how to ride? Like, could you stop, Raiden?
And you see him chasing the bandits that are trying to escape, but they're really far ahead of you at this point in time.
I'm gonna shoot into the air.
You shoot into the air. Belle and Moses are traveling a little bit. And Nori, you see Raiden pull out his pistol while riding, take aim.
No.
And shoot one of those bandits in the back of the head. Hits him, just takes him down from behind, back of the head, right off the horse. The one that was injured. Really, really expertly done. And is continuing to trace down this other one. What do you want to do?
That's not Raiden. That's not a Raiden I would like to talk to. That is not right. Raiden would never. Turning right back around and riding off as fast as I can back home. Because it's not like he doesn't know where we live, but also now I'm a little nervous that whoever that is knows where we live. And I am absolutely immediately turning around and booking it. I'm not startled so much as I'm like, this is not a smart decision.
That Raiden was able to get off a headshot while riding.
Yep. That is not an electrocution.
And as you turn and ride back, you're getting back towards your cattle.
Please do not shoot me. Please do not shoot me. Do not shoot me.
Moses and Belle, you're riding towards town. And I imagine Nori's riding towards the ranch, on her way to town, who knows? Do you want to say anything to each other before you get closer to town?
There's kind of always an awkward silence, I think, between Belle and Moses. Even at home, she's kind of like.
Well, I mean, the other thing is like take the guests out of the equation, right? And like basically, like I'm like just almost completely on the other side of the law. Right? From most, so there is typically not a lot for us to say that isn't gonna come to like I don't know, like somebody getting arrested or something, right? Like but this time I actually have something kind of whilst we're like watching, sort of making sure Belle doesn't fall off the horse. Just kind of like making sure Belle's okay. But I also have something on my mind right now. Right? And I don't know how I don't know how this sort of honorable switch that the demons has done has already altered sort of some perception. Right? But since I'm stuck in this weird honorable lie right now, I have something to get off my chest, right? And so I guess I sort of want to so Belle, you and I, law and order, you're often, somewhere over here.
I ain't over there because I wanted to be over there. I was over there because I was like, hey, why don't somebody do something if you don't like it? And they're like, oh, you the law. And that's really was nothing I was planning on doing when I came out of here. But yeah, they gave me a key to a place with bars and tell me everything that's happening, even if I don't want to know, and put me in a situation of having to consider, is something wrong because someone don't like it, or is something wrong because it's gonna hurt somebody? And it's just a never mind. You didn't ask about all that. Yep, over there.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's nice to know that sometimes that that it's hard for you because it's sometimes hard for me to be on the other side too. I got already got to sneak around.
Mm.
Um, you know, uh, there's not a lot you and I can talk about.
Well,
It's
and
not going to end in conflict.
well, I mean, like, I don't really want to do nothing to you, Moses. I know that you involved in a lot of stuff that I don't fully understand, but I also know sometimes folks are born into a legacy, and there's stuff that they do that you may not understand why they do it, but
Mm.
it's nuance. That word nuance is that's a beast. I don't want you to ever think you can't talk to me about something, because like, what am I honestly? What am I going to do? Like, technically, there's a jail kinda, but there ain't no lock. So like, like,
But but what
mm,
if one day,
mm-hmm,
maybe today,
mm-hmm,
somebody wanted to, you know, I mean, me and my family, honestly, we do a lot of dirt.
mm.
What if what if today was a day we came clean publicly on all that?
Okay. Does it have to be today? Because I feel like we have been through a
Um,
lot today. You know.
it it kind of does. It kind
Oh.
of does.
Okay.
For reasons.
Mhm.
But do you think that if we made a fresh start, we
Mm.
might be able to just kind of wipe the slate clean?
You know, I think it's funny people use the word dirt. They say, oh, my family's in dirt. Oh, they dirty. All this kinds of stuff. But do you know what grows from dirt?
Lots of things.
Literally, most things grow from dirt.
Hmm.
Literally, just most of everything grows from dirt. I don't think there's any dirty people or people all up in the dirt unless they are dead. I believe that there are people who have made the best of the circumstances that have been put before them in order to survive. I also believe a lot of people have come out here for new starts. So I can't wipe the slate clean because I'm not the judge, jury, and all the rest of it, but I'm not in a position to judge if people want to have a new start.
All right. Uh, we should get you to Hattie. Sort of like, hey, come on. You know.
It's go. I just want to say, even if it's something like she's, this is blood loss. Like she's just even if it's something, like we live together, we family. It'd be real embarrassing if I tried to be like, hey, Moses, mama, daddy, brother, sister, don't do that. Like that would be awkward for a first meeting. So, you know. You were great though. You are wonderful. You clean up after yourself, even if you don't wear shoes. Your feet don't stink in the house. It's you are quite like I can't live with just anybody. I have tried, and that has not always ended up the best.
Well, yeah. Uh, like, well, thank you. You know, you're not so bad yourself. You know, sort of.
Mm.
You know, and also some of the extra blood loss kind of he gently like props Bella up like nope, look, back on the horse. But
Yep.
And you two sort of crest back over the hill so you can come to see Hope. And you sort of crest over. And, the thing about Hope is that Hope is this sort of beautiful little town, right? And there's some like fields, right, with some wheat growing, some corn. You've got some farms, some ranches that surround this place. And as you crest over the hill, so you can sort of see the town of Hope. The sun, because it's like you started very early, so it's a nice, beautiful. It's like maybe 11, right, and the sun is high in the sky, and there before you is Hope, the town that is this beautiful moment, and it is a place that you know so well. And as you crest over the hill and you can see the sun shining and everything is beautiful and lovely and wonderful, you can see the crops wilting and decaying, and the corn rotting and desiccated and dry. And the town itself is not on fire, so it's fine, I suppose. It's still a bit of a ways off, but all of the crops leading the way that you're headed are all rotting.
Now,
As if
even
just dried up.
even though Bella's blood loss and so on, she hasn't been showing any signs of pain. She's a little loopy, but she's still, even if she sways, is
Yeah.
standing up straight, like sitting up straight. And she's just gonna look to Moses. I know I have lost a lot of blood, but I don't know if I have quite lost the amount of blood that leads to the hallucination stage. So please tell me that you also see.
I do. I don't want to though.
Can I
Okay,
get a
so
terror test from you both? No
a
penalty.
what?
A
A what?
terror test, please.
What? Okay, what is that?
50%. Roll a percentile dice, and there's no penalty, so it's just a 50% you got to hit.
Okay, just 50-50.
Because this is almost all of it. Like all of the crops. And you were past here just the other day, and nothing was like this. Quinn,
Okay,
you are
made
fine.
it.
I am not.
That's 2 jacks of take 2 lucidity damage as you see all of these crops rotted and dry, and you remember the ways in which one of your ranch hands had looked sort of desiccated, as if something had sucked fluid out of one of your ranch hands. And as you see these crops, it looks the same. Not like, because it's not actually, when you look, it's not like it's rotted. It looks actually like something has just leached all of the life out of these crops. And they get a little, there's almost like dust. They almost like sort of fall to dust. And you know this is not natural. This is not a drought. This is not natural.
We gotta wait for Nori and Braden. I don't want. We gotta get everybody. Come on, Rue. We gotta move a little faster. I know I'm slow. Come on, Rue. We gotta move a little faster. Moses. I don't know much about hospitality, but my uncle had several friends that were really deep into theology. I have salt in my saddlebags. A lot of salt. We're going to see Mama Hattie, and I just need you to dig deep into the recesses of your knowledge compendium of what you blood vocabulary is going everywhere, but I need you to think real hard about ways we can keep these people here safe, because we didn't just lost provisions, lots and lots of provisions. This is food. If people can't eat, they can't live. So and she's just gonna kind of give Rue a little bit of a kick to try to speed him along a little bit, but
And Nori, you were taking your cattle back to the ranch?
No, I asked them to take them back, actually. Remember?
You asked the cattle to go back on their own some?
No, I asked.
Oh, them.
No, I asked them to take the cattle back.
So you get back to where that ambush was, and your cattle are still there.
Oh, babies. Okay.
Yeah,
Did they? They didn't clear the log either, did they?
No.
yeah, we did.
No.
Oh,
you did? Did you clear the
I
log?
thought we moved it.
Okay, thank God. I couldn't remember, but perfect. Okay, let the babies.
Yeah.
I hope at my voice they like look up like, oh,
Yeah, they do.
me?
The cows, they look at you. Yeah.
Babies. Babies. Home. Home. Come on. And I'll have Arichi do like one small circle around them. Be like, okay, come on.
They start moving. Now, none of your cattle have any sort of damage to them at all. They seem totally fine.
Good.
They seem absolutely fine.
I don't like that you said that twice.
Really? My lovely drover.
Oh, my baby's here.
They're all there as if those bandits just took them to draw you out, perhaps. But they seem fine. Do you take them home?
Trooper, finish your sentences.
I'm just
They seem
asking.
fine.
I'm just asking.
Well, yeah, I have to go. I have to take them home if they're fine.
Yeah. And you sent your ranch hands away, so you should be all by yourself, right? At the ranch when you get back there.
To my knowledge.
To your knowledge. Yeah. We can probably just get a break now.
I mean, I'm sure on some days when he's feeling up to it, James visits. Oh no, my sisters are at the ranch.
That's true. Your sisters are there, so everything should be fine.
Yeah, my sisters are there. All of my sisters are there because our dad just died.
Yeah. And you bring those cattle in. I mean, you're an excellent drover. You can wrangle them. And when you're there, you see your sister Akwi, who is she's cleaning up some stuff, right? Because y'all left the place a little bit of a mess. And
fair.
She smiles at you. And she's speaking in your native language. She goes, well, where did you all go?
Somebody stole all my babies, and I had to take all of our babies back home. It was just such a mess, and you will not believe the morning that I have had.
Why didn't you take Raiden?
We did take Raiden. What are you talking about? He shot a gun? I have never seen Raiden shot. Did you teach Raiden how to shoot?
No, Raiden can't shoot. No,
right,
but also he just left.
What do you mean he just left? He just left. What do you mean he just left? I left him back there.
No, he asked me why you left without him.
We didn't.
No, he was just here.
No, I'm telling you right now.
Nori.
I left with someone who looked exactly like Raiden, sounded exactly like Raiden. He called me Miss Nori, though. That was so weird. He hasn't called me Miss Nori since the first day we met when we were like 6.
He said... Raiden said that he didn't want to miss the meeting.
What are you talking about? The meeting
just...
later? Where did he leave to?
Well, he got on one of the extra horses because his was gone missing and he left.
Left alone for what? For the meeting? And the other town?
He said he was going to go and catch up with you all. It was important, he said. He didn't want to miss the meeting. What do you mean you left with him? He was.
No, I left with him. He caught up. Belle came with him, and we got ambushed. And
Are you all right?
I'm okay. I didn't get hurt. Belle got hurt, but she was on her way to town. She's probably already there. She left before me. I went to chase after Raiden, who shot a man, and then he shot someone in the back of the head from horseback. I didn't even know Raiden could ride like that.
He was
Which
right
I
here.
guess it wasn't Raiden. I thought it wasn't Raiden. I thought something was wrong. I thought maybe he electrocuted himself into a different personality or something again.
That's weird. Yeah, no, he said he was going over to Johnstone's refuge.
Alone? And
He
you
said he
let him?
He said that's where you were going.
No! I went after the cattle. Someone stole the cattle. They're all here though. Buttercup was in the house. Did you see her?
Yes. Raiden had Buttercup.
Yeah, exactly. I sent Raiden in with Buttercup. So that was Raiden. So whoever took Raiden's horse is not. If you see Raiden on his horse, shoot him in the leg.
Okay.
And do not let him shoot you. He is deadly.
Okay, I'm going to take the cattle in and put them in the pen. Maybe you should go and find.
I am gonna go right after Raiden. For sure.
You should
Wait, what?
probably find Belle and Moses. If he's as deadly as you say he is, you
Yeah,
maybe
but-
not want to go by yourself.
I mean, yes, but I'm going after the real Raiden, and the real Raiden's about as deadly as a horseshoe. And I have to stop him from going into that town alone. He's gonna get hurt.
I feel like you shouldn't do this by yourself. You remember what happened last time with that town?
You're right. God, okay. I'll have to ride into town, see if anybody seen him. So Nori hands over, it's just like cattle is like, they know the signals, and it's just like, oh, hey, Ahui. Guess who got engaged?
What?
Bye!
No, wait, you come. Oh, you're gonna tell me everything when you get back.
Maybe.
I need somebody. Cookie, we need to make food. We need a cake.
Oh, no, not. Oh, God.
And
Immediately
with that,
going to tell all of my sisters, probably.
Oh, yes.
Immediately.
With that, we're going to go on break. We're going to take a 10-minute break as we have Nori heading into town and we have Raiden heading towards Johnstone's refuge for a meetup that they had.
Poor baby.
Maybe. And we have Belle and Moses walking through the desiccated, rotting crops that lead to the town of Hope. 10-minute break, y'all. We'll catch you. Stretch, drink water, hydrate. We'll catch you in 10 minutes to find out what's happening. Welcome back to the second part of episode 3 of Haunted West, A Town Called Hope. Our heroes dealt with a gunfight with some bandits, one of whom had a little map with like a big old circle around their ranch with very, very nice handwriting saying, you know, lead them out of the town limits and then kill them. But we have no idea who wrote that note. Nori seems to have ideas. I'm just gonna note that one. And our heroes, 2 of our heroes are just on their way into Hope, noting that all the crops have started, I would say rotting, but it's more like somebody's just like sucked all the life out of them. And they're heading in not particularly fast as Nori is riding her horse after them, after she learned that her friend Raiden was also at the ranch. Weird. Yes.
Great, these discoveries that we're making and the weird vagueness around my house.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. All I'm saying is that whatever it is that was desiccating the life, or whatever it is that's desiccating the life, did not hit your cows because those bandits weren't doing it. Most of them are dead now, though. So, I mean, you know.
Of course, you're not worried about it. You're the GM.
Nah, yeah. And so, as we pull our curtain back, you two, and Nor, you'll come up, because I imagine you're writing quickly.
Yes, I am riding very rapidly to into the center of town. I figure I do have the what's it called? Not propensity, the peculiarity of let me grab you the exact wording for it, because it comes into play when I am around people.
Oh.
Yes, it's a fun little
Please tell me.
Trick. It's called famous. Folks know you wherever you go. They stop, they stare, they ask for your autobiography or fabricate stories about how you're besties. So it affects NPCs view the character one step more positively, is like the effect, and it comes into play wherever I go.
All right, okay. You're there, they have a lead on you, so you're gonna get there a little bit later, but you'll be there shortly. So be prepared. Think about like your great entry moment is what you're looking for when you sort of ride up. And you know they're heading off to Miss Hattie. Now you two start moving into the town proper, I imagine, from the outskirts. Would you like to give me some sort of a roll if you like? I mean, that is up to you.
Could I give a scholar occult?
That would be one of them, yes. I'd say some kind of roll to sort of about this situation that you have. And it could be observation. It could be any number of things to get information about this situation. What all would you like to roll?
I will definitely do the scholar occult, because it just feels like pertinent.
Yeah. What you got? Ooh.
Failure.
Ooh. Okay, that's easy. So here's the thing. You know demons, yeah? Oh. What kind of scholar is that you got there? Because you have a 92 in scholar. Bell. I was like, what is going on there?
Are you mute?
You know, you are muted. Belle, you're muted. Also, I'm going to ask you a question, my dear, before this happens. I want to know what kind of scholar you've got, what kind of scholar style you've got there, what Belle has. But I have a proposition for Moses. There's a thing you can do in this game. It is a possibility. And this is a thing that you can do when something is important to you. It's when it's important and it's relevant to your code. If something is relevant to your code once per session, you can spend a grit and do what's called a straight flush. And a straight flush flips your die roll. So you'd flip that from a 94 to 49.
Interesting. So I don't, unless I recovered some grit, I'm gritless.
You shouldn't be, because you had you only spent 2, right? Which put you down to 1.
I think I spent 1 on another thing though. I'm showing 0 here. I'm trying to remember where I spent the last one.
But I gave you 1.
But-
I gave you all 1 at the end of the last session.
that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
I
Okay,
did.
so I do have 1.
You do.
I'm gonna hold on to it though, just because I kind of need it for other stuff I do here. I'll not know right now.
So here's what I will tell you. This failure is going to give you some information. And the information it's going to give you is this. You know demons. This is what you specialize in. You know demons very, very well. There is no demon that you know of that does this. Right? This is clearly supernatural. But whatever it isn't a demon. You don't think it's a spell either, right? So what this is not something within your expertise, but that might tell you something, right? You're like, okay, this is not some kind of spell or demonic, like it's not some kind of demonic or spell-like effect. Because you've studied actually quite a lot. You're actually fairly knowledgeable about the ways of demons. And this is not, because like you could think it could be something like a curse, right? Like it could be like a curse perhaps, maybe like some kind of like a withering spell, but there's nothing you can think of in terms of, it doesn't make sense. You don't think this is either a demon or some kind of spell.
Okay.
You don't know what it is, but you know it's not those
definitely
things.
Share that with Belle and just sort of like, this has nothing to do with hospitality.
Literature, yeah. Now, Belle, that's a very hefty success. That's a 5-jack success. So, shall we talk about what you want to do with that? You can take those, or you can use those jacks to increase the effect of your success. So, chat, basic success, fine, good. 1 jack will give a slight impact, sort of like an extra point of damage or like an additional clue. 2 jacks pulls away one of the layers of the mystery, or it makes a minor change in the current situation. 3 jacks is a moderate impact in the current situation. 4 jacks peels away 2 layers from the mystery, or 5 jacks reveals all the clues in a scene, peels away 3 layers of mystery, or adds substantial change to the current situation.
So I still have 4 jacks that I have not spent.
That is correct.
Because I deleted the other ones that I spent. So let's go ahead and use these 5 jacks for this particular situation, because Belle would be putting all her attention and focus into endeavoring to rack her brain. Her scholarly category is she is a voracious reader. She is well.
Did you take that -5 off because you're bleeding all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
All right then, good. So I want you to, now I'm going to say that because you're going to be taking a bit of a look-see, that means Nora's going to be able to catch up with you about here, but in about two seconds. You were looking at this place, these crops, and when you look at them, you notice something. You notice that they are not rotting just like they're all rotting. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, they all as a whole are rotting all at once. When you notice quickly, you notice it looks actually, there are patterns in the rot. like pathways of rot. And you notice that it looks to you as if somebody were walking through the cornfields and the grains, and wherever they walked, rot follows behind them. It just seems like a trail. And if you look closely, which you do, you can see footsteps. And the footsteps themselves, if you look very closely, it's as if the rot emanates from these footsteps. As if with each step, this person brings with them death, or consumes all life around them. But you spent 5 jacks, which tells you as you look that there are 2 different footprints. One larger, one smaller. So there are 2 entities, people, 2 people, let's say, people, who have been walking through this area, and wherever they walk, they drain all of the life from around this space. The footprints do not seem inhuman in any way, other than the fact that, you know, death is following them everywhere they go. They seem like regular human footprints. Shoeless, no shoes on though. One, because you had 5 jacks. You know, when people wear shoes a lot, their toes sort of come in like this, you know? These toes are spread as if the people who are walking have not worn shoes or do not wear shoes. They're not used to wearing shoes, the ways in which your toes splay out when you don't have shoes to constrain them. So these are the feet of people who are not used to wearing shoes. And you can see them, right, moving through these fields, step by step, methodically, just draining everything of life. And you follow those tracks, and you see those tracks heading right back into hope, which I think is when Nori shows up on her horse.
Slightly breathless, as if I've been running. I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sitting. But riding is very taxing and very strenuous. Actually, it requires a lot of core strength. So, still, very, especially if you're riding quickly. So, still, slightly like, you guys.
And when you cross the ridge, it's death. All of the crops are desiccated. There's still some probably crops on the other side of town that have not been desiccated, but it seems as if they've all just are withering. And you passed by here this morning, and it was not like this.
What the hell happened here? Also,
I'm trying to sort that out.
Bell?
Also, the person with us, I was not Raiden.
Oh my goodness, that is such a surprise.
I knew it. I knew it. Ever since we got in that shooting contest and he owed me...
Anyway, apparently Raiden walked out of our house earlier and then went to the meeting without us in Johnstown, in that old farts refuge.
The meeting ain't till this evening, so
I don't know if that was a third Raiden. I don't know. Ahui, she came out and I gave her the cows. Cows are all fine. They did not leave. I had to take them back, but they're all okay. Ahui's got him. All the others are in the house. Bamori's got the twins probably still in the house. But apparently, Raiden took off on somebody else's horse because his horse was missing. And I saw other Raiden, the Raiden that was with us, I saw him chasing after those two. And without even skipping a beat, he shot one of them in the back of the head. And the moment I saw that, I turned around and I knew that that was not our Raiden. At least not a version of him that I would trust. So I ran away before he could see me so that I could tell you guys so we could prepare because I have no idea what he's doing. And then with that map, we need to be in town. And what the hell is with... I was here this morning. When I came home. And the crops were fine. They were fine.
Okay. Well, you just see Bella's getting off of Rue to get into her saddlebags for that salt.
Elle,
Mm.
you've read a lot.
Mm.
This is not zombies don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Something else is doing this. It's not in books. It's in whispers.
Mm-hmm.
Whispers. Tell me, who is the oldest person you know? Or the person who you knew in New Orleans with the most history? You know what I mean? The ones who know the things.
The ones we allowed to talk to or the ones that we don't talk to?
The ones you don't talk to.
They're the ones that still practice some stuff that came over.
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones that draw stuff from the living to give to the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am no expert, but whether it's a Kablata or a Bokor or a priest or a priestess or however you want to title it.
Did you ever speak to one of them?
There
Did you ever
was
hear their
one.
stories?
There was one. The one that is the reason why I do not use my full name.
Mm.
Because her name was also started with a Ma, but it was as a title.
Yes. Well, you don't want to say that name. She might have told you a story one time. They call it different things here, you know? Call them, these people here in this place. They might use the word vampire, but that's not a good word at all to describe this thing. She used a word. She said, oh, it was an old word. Obayifo, she said. They're from the old country. And they are beings. They are not ghosts, not exactly. They are, the Ashanti would speak of them. They are creatures. They're not human. They look it though. She told you a story, this priestess. By day, they look just like everyone else. They don't look different from anyone. But at night, they turn into spirits. And their spirits travel. And they are voracious in their desire to feed off of living things, everything alive, plants, animals, people, children. And when they are in their spirit form, you cannot kill them. When they're in their human form, they're just human. No worries. But they are not human. And they are spirits, night flyers. They bring death. And they hide in your community, she said. Among you by day, and by night they drain your life. Your priestess, she told you a story of a town once that had one, and that town turned on themselves, thinking maybe you are it, or maybe you are. And it tore the town apart. The paranoia, the fear, the suspicion. Yeah, that's what this is. As you look, bleeding still. There are two of them here in this town. And as you see the mass of people of hope, all these new people have come in recently, intense, all of them all the people of hope as you move towards the city center, tired, exhausted, sitting. The bandstand that was being built by James, half built, not even completely completed, as people just look a little pale, a little exhausted and tired, sitting. You know, when they leave their body, the spirit's invulnerable, but the body's not. But you spent 5 jacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're searching this area.
Mm-hmm.
And something strikes you. Something weird strikes you. From the story that she told you, the priestess, they do all of this draining at night when they're in spirit form. They're in spirit form. This is when they do this. They can fly, although they can walk in spirit form. But you notice something as you're following their tracks. Something you didn't notice at first, because it looks just like just something in the dirt, you know? And you notice what looks like the marks of chains, as if these Obayifu may be shackled. At least their spirits shackled in some way. And those are the things that you notice with those 5 jacks. And that memory of the story told you by the priestess.
Belle is just gonna look between Nori and Moses and look at Moses. I speak a lot about not knowing that much about hospitality, and that's by choice, not because I did not have the opportunity to be exposed, but just to give you some groundwork, a foundation upon which to build assumptions you may make about me. I am from New Orleans. And she's gonna high level tell this kind of story. You deal with house guests that you call, that you invite. But there are certain types of guests. They ain't really guests. They are visitors, is a better word. They ain't supposed to be here. And when they're here, most of the time something ain't controlling them. But once you said Mr. Johnstown, he had him some shackles, right? You said you spoke to your guest, and even though the checkout process was challenging, you received information about what you received information about. The things that did this were also shackled.
Mm.
So, Nora, my precious, did nothing look like this when you left this morning when you was in high spirits?
No, nothing. Nothing looked like this. Nothing looked like this whatsoever. I mean, I might have been a little distracted, but I am very sure I would have noticed if something was wrong. And I mean, oh, well, the crops were fine, but James was tired. I mean, like, he was not naturally tired. He was kind of I've never known him to be anything but hardworking, but he was kind of lethargic. He was, kind of just a little off. Just couldn't really get his energy up. I mean, happiest moment of his goddamn life. And it was hard for him to stay high, just in high spirits about it. And, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of reminds me of when, when my daddy visited us a few months ago before his relatively sudden passing. How he got really tired at first. It reminded me of that. I mean, I'm sure it's not the same thing because that's not going to happen to James. It's just not going to happen to James. Because I won't let it happen to James. But everybody seemed pretty tired this morning now that I'm thinking about it.
Is it people like you? You're a likable person and you can get a lot of attention very quickly. Is it? It may seem like, and you can tell them it's because we're discussing getting the town ready for a visitor. But is it possible for you to get as many people as you can gathered into? I'm assuming we have. It may not be a church, but like a central kind of gathering place.
Well, like a town hall, I'm sure.
Like a town hall kind of.
You're also still bleeding, by the way. I'm just noting it.
Yeah, I am.
It's great.
Yep, this is. I need to. But Moses. Mama Hattie don't really like Mr. Williams that much, and they were arguing back and forth for quite some time. And Slim asked me to come and check on what was happening there. Is it possible for you to track down Mr. Williams and see how he's faring?
Sure, I can take a look.
Yeah, you can say happy birthday or whatever, but it's. And then I will go see Miss Hattie, and I'm not dealing with the Raiden situation right now. You done said the not Raiden and shot
He'll
somebody
deal with us
in the back
sooner
of the head.
than later.
I know my Raiden. That was not Raiden. I don't know if it's because it's a different spelling or enunciation. He was helpful where he needed to be, but ain't nobody about to catch him. And if I do, I got a hole in my shoulder. So what am I gonna do? Bleed at him? I need to find Mama Hattie. She can help me with my shoulder, but here. And she's gonna go into her saddlebags and give each, like, y'all got something to hold something. This
Saddlebags.
Yep, this is salt. I'm gonna give y'all some salt. Put it somewhere on your person. And if anything looks questionable or scary, or you feel like you need some protection, create a line in front of you and stay on the other side.
All right. Sure thing. And Nori will take the salt and pack most in the saddlebags, put some, just kind of sprinkle it on her horse's mane. Ariche looks a little affronted, but I'm just like, but Nori's just like, look, just take it. You let me braid you before, you know you hate that too, so you just take this.
Can I get an occult
Here, you
scholar
like
from
salt
Moses?
cubes. Can you lick it? Just gonna have Ariche like eat the salt a little bit.
Oh,
Sure
yeah.
thing. Hold on.
Yes, please.
Right.
Remember, you've got some, jacks, if you like.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, how many decks I got here?
You've got, what do you have? You have...
I got 3, a
mhm,
short arm.
mhm.
I mean, can I, yeah, could I use a couple jacks?
Yes.
Again,
How
I'm still
does
sort of
your short arm help you with... Because right now, she's talking about creatures. You don't know about creatures, but you do know about shackles. Shackling things. That's a thing you know about. So how does that short arms, those short arm jacks help you with this? Tell me about a moment where maybe some past experience, something where this has come up that has helped you know something about, let's say, influencing and capturing people, as it were.
I think like I think we go back like to sort of like tales my dad used to talk about,
Mm,
of using sort of like kind of like um sort of getting in shootouts and stuff like that to like evade capture, and
mm,
kind of like
mhm,
how kind of like and all
mm.
those sort of like stories that they'd use, and all the like kind of so bordering on almost a supernatural
Yeah. Yep.
themselves, these sort of
Yep.
stories that he and mom would sort of get up to.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like calling back to those sort of days.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. You saw those shackles, did you not? On him.
Yes.
Um, and you have a peculiarity, do you not? That is about supernatural types of things.
Well, so yeah, like I have the but yeah, I have the demonology, the practitioner thing where I recognize um, something as like supernatural or not.
Yeah. And those were definitely supernatural shackles. But here's the thing that you were thinking about, perhaps to ponder. Maybe those shackles weren't draining his life necessarily. Or if they were, it might have been to fuel a shackling. Maybe he was not shackled by those shackles, but he was controlling other shackles, a sympathetic link, right?
Mm,
You hold them to shackle other things. So it was not that he was shackled. I mean, it's actually give and take. You know what I mean? Like energy can't,
to,
right? If you're
right,
shackling something, you are also yourself shackled. You know what I mean? There's a way in
right, right.
which
To imprison something, you also sort of have to imprison yourself because you have to watch it. Right.
yes.
So
But here's the thing. If what Bell says is true, these things being shackled are powerful, right? Like very, very powerful. And if they could do all of this, that's a lot of life force that needs to be channeled in order to shackle 2 of them. Makes sense there were 2 shackles, but that's a lot. That's a lot of power. But you remember that town is drawing power from this land. Probably, you remember Nori told you that he was freaking out trying to get something. If this whole town was built to channel power, the question is to where, right? and
Oh.
you suspect it's to him. And if he's still being somewhat not looking so great, there's he's probably drawing an enormous amount of power from the land in order to keep whatever it is he's doing under control. You don't know how much damage he's doing, especially if your friend, your house guest, was correct that has got zombies, perhaps. That takes a lot of energy as well. Someone had to do it. If you imagine, that's an entire town of people. You know how many of them are undead. Let's just use the word zombie rather than undead for the moment. But that's a lot of control that's being exercised. And these Obeifu, he must be drawing an immense amount of power from this land and draining over at Johnstone in order to keep these things under control. And clearly, it's still affecting him as well. Yeah, whatever demon he dealt with gave him the ability to shackle things at a cost. But that says to you that maybe these night flyers are not free.
So it seems like maybe we need to maybe we can find some way to free these things and we don't have to worry about them.
No, okay. There. Well, that's an idea. Um, I know how to catch bandits. I know how to chase people down. I know how to get money back. I know how to find stuff. This is outside my pay grade. If I did actually get paid for the job that I do.
Soon.
Yeah. Don't you put that evil on me. There's already a lot going on. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well,
right.
hey, you can be the sheriff, or you can let my sisters wrangle you into wedding planning. I think sheriff looks mighty nice right now, doesn't it?
Or both.
I don't know a paisley from a lace, so probably. Um, but yeah, we got to find the two oldest doggone people in this town, and
I'll
that's
gather everybody for you.
thank you so very much, Mr. Moses. I think this may be a section where things start to overlap. Sometimes it's not as simple as we think. But I don't know if you have the knowledge or understanding, then maybe you can take some time to think about it, or maybe your family can help. I don't think, since this is not just guests but visitors, we also need to make sure the people of this town are protected if we do so free the things that are not meant to be shackled. Because this is not something that is meant for him. I'm not saying because it's not meant for nobody really, but this is not meant for him, if you understand what I am saying. And the repercussions of pissing off this, ain't no shackles, walls, or nothing else that's going to keep other people from getting caught up in that. So just keep that in mind. like you just whew.
She's right, It's not good to shackle these things. These are ancient things. It's not good. It's not good at all. And as you move into the town, you see all of these people just sitting around, tired, exhausted. And you can see a couple people moving about still. Some people are moving around. You see James over there, and he's working on this bandstand. You know him, and you know how hard he works and how fast he works. And he's working. It's just he's like 20% less. There's just a bit of he's still doing his business because the town has to be prepared for the governor who's coming, and the town looks awful. It looks like this does not look like a county seat. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It does not look like a county seat. He's moving, and some people are still moving about. There are people moving, but everybody just looks a little tired.
Let me wake him up 1 second. Because Nori's riding in straight to town while you guys go to Hattie, so she's gonna call out James's name. That usually gets attention.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh, of course you are. You stay ready.
I stay ready. I'm stay ready. And he's got his hammer, right? And he's working, and he's got his hair right in a tight braid.
What, no wig?
I in the box. I've got such a box of wigs. And he sort of looks up with his this big mallet and this sort of big hammer and these like heavy nails. He's putting this thing there, and he goes, "Oh, so I see you've missed me." And he's sweating, and he's just gotten a little bit paler. He's got that sparkle in his eye though when he sees you, but there's just a little bit of sluggishness. And as you're riding in, other people see you, of course, and people wave, right? Those that can sort of muster enough move. And then you see some people in the corner, like they're eating breakfast or lunch now. People are just kind of milling about. And he waits for you to get off of your horse. He goes, "Come on over."
Oh, you got energy for this? And she
Yes.
strolls up. She strolls up easy.
And he gives you the biggest kiss right there in front of town.
Of course.
Which is going to make
can't hesitate.
it's going to be a big stir, but everybody seems less, they're not paying as much attention, actually. A couple people will notice here and there, but
Oh,
they
that
seem
never happens
so...
to me.
I know. And it's weird, right? Because you are like a force of nature who's like all of this. And people are just sort of like, and he is like, you can tell he's trying to build up energy because he's seeing you. You can see it's that kind of like I got to have this energy for my gal, you know? And he smiles and he goes, "I'm building the bandstand. It's really hot today, don't you think?" It's not that hot.
No. Are you sure you're all right? I was a little worried about you this morning.
No,
And
I'm
she's
fine.
just fussing just a little
No,
bit. That's mostly just kind of teasing at his hair and poking him in the head. She's
I'm
not a
fine.
medic.
No, I'm okay. Oh, sorry. How is everything? Did you tell your sisters?
Oh, I mean, yes. I
Have you sit down? You don't mind?
no, you sit down. I told them as I was running away. So
To me.
that'll sure, of course. Always to you. But
Hey.
we got shot at.
What?
There was an ambush. She figures at least the empathy will probably get him
Yeah.
stirred up. She's like,
Was
they
that
stole all
Johnstone?
my cattle. Yes,
What?
I think so. They stole all my cattle. I tracked them with the others, and it was an
Right.
ambush.
Well, we'll have
We're
to do
fine. I'm fine. Obviously, I'm fine. But
we have to get Belle. We have to talk. We have to tell
we
Slim.
did. Belle got shot. She's gonna be okay.
Is she? What?
She's going to Hattie's. Hattie's gonna patch her up.
Well,
Raiden is AWOL. If you see somebody that looks like Raiden, please run the other way. I know you I mean, you grew up together. But
Yeah.
do not talk to Raiden today. Promise me. And she like grabs his face. Promise me.
Okay. And it's that moment where he's like, he knows you're serious. Like, 'cause there's a lot of joking between you two, but that's the moment when he knows you're serious. All right. Where's Moses? George was
Is
looking for
helping.
him.
We're okay. Well, he's helping Belle make sure that she doesn't, crap out on us until we get to Hattie's to fix her.
What do I need to do?
Okay, I need to get, and she's just like, now it's just the nice petting of the face again. I need to get everybody into town hall.
Okay.
Now I need to get everybody together.
All right.
So I'm gonna need, and she shakes it a little bit. I'm gonna need
Yeah.
you at full energy, okay?
Yes.
Can't have a lackluster
No.
husband.
I have something for you, but I can't give it to you now.
It's gonna be like the deed to the house where you could very much give it to me.
But I have to wait to the right moment.
Fine. All right. Better fit on a finger. And she
It
goes,
might.
oh wait.
It
What?
might.
Oh, well.
I mean, I might have asked Belle what your ring size was a while back.
That poor girl.
Well, I mean, I tell her everything. Well, not everything. I tell her everything.
Oh, poor
Well,
Bill.
not everything. You know what?
I
I'm
should
gonna go
hope
round up.
not everything.
No, not everything. I'll just
Oh,
round up.
suddenly look at you with
No,
the energy to
I'll-
run away.
I'm gonna.
Before you go, she takes a handful of salt. I don't know if you gave it to us in any kind of package or if you just gave me raw salt. So she's just grabbing.
Thanks.
1 second, let me grab the clarification real quick from Honey. What did you just give me raw salt?
No, I asked you, did you have a container to put
No,
it in?
I have a saddlebag.
And she said saddlebags, my pockets. So Belle is not going to argue. She is literally bleeding
Yeah,
out.
I have raw salt. And I
she's
just
like,
take a scoop of salt. And
she's like, I forgot to tell them what to do with it.
All you said is make a line. So she takes the hand. Before she puts salt in it, she gives it a kiss. And she puts salt in it and goes, so apparently there's something.
So you're trying to tell me that my cooking is bad. You know, this is how it always is with us. I feel my cooking is not that bad. I know I need to be a bit. You just like your food a little bit spicier, neither. That's all. But it's mine is not bland. Come on. What?
It's for protection.
Oh,
Your food is fine.
thank you.
I need you to take this, carry it with you 24/7. Do not take it off your person. And if something is, I don't know, weird or unholy, Belle said to take some and make a line and stand on, or a line or a circle or something. Make sure that you are on one end of the salt line and the evil is on the other side.
Okay. Moses is here, right? Because this sounds like his stuff.
Yeah, Moses is with Belle. They're going to be with Hattie. And I mean, I'm sure it'll all be fine. We'll make sure it's fine. But I need you to get everybody with me into the town hall. Tell them whatever you need to tell them to get their butts up. But it's an emergency. Tell them Nori needs it. Should work. Works all the time. Don't know why it wouldn't work. And if you got to, how many people have you told, James?
What would be the right answer here? Is there an upper limit? Like, if I said, like, is more than 5, would that upset you? What is the number that I should say?
What is the number that you told?
Oh,
you don't want to start off lying to your wife.
No, I would not. So let's say Belle. Let's say Ahui.
I told them you can't use those.
Let's say Hattie and Slim.
Oh boy. So everyone knows.
Yes. I also went to the saloon and I told George, and I told everyone at the saloon, and they bought me drinks. And
it's not even noon.
I know. Yeah, I think they actually stayed there from last night. It's kind of weird. Hey, did you know that George has got a new girlfriend?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. A new woman who just came into town. She wears red sunglasses. Isn't that weird?
That's fancy.
Yeah, she's fancy. I think she's from out east or something. Anyway, I'm gonna go round up everybody.
Okay, round everybody up. I will see you in a bit. She gives him a big kiss, right in the face.
And he kisses each one of your fingers.
Oh my God.
And he heads off. And you can hear him sort of shouting to sort of get people gathered.
Oh God. It's embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Because it's all about embarrassing you in front of your family.
Oh.
And George has got a new girlfriend. It's fine. Hattie's place. Hattie and Slim.
Lord Almighty.
When you walk in, the door's open. Slim's not there. He's probably out at the telegraph office. But Miss Hattie's there. And she's deep in her house. It's basically like a one-room house, right, with a little bit of a loft. And she's deep inside, and she's wrapped up in her shawl. And she is sweating. And she is pale. And when you come up to the house, you notice a line of salt that is surrounding the doorway. And there is a bundle of sage right up the doorway. And she goes, "You can come in, but don't mess up that salt. Whatever you do."
Mama Hattie, I
The
got.
name of it.
Oh, you're.
They got her. They
Okay,
got me.
come on in. And you can tell she's exhausted, but she doesn't look drained.
Mm-hmm.
But she clearly has been working in some kind of way, like trying to keep, well, if you were Moses, I'd say trying to keep a circle, a protection circle up for some time, let's say, which can be exhausting. Doesn't look like she got a lot of sleep, She goes, "You come now. Now what? Now let me come. I can't see that far. You come over here.
And Moses, and most people, when Belle speaks, she's got her accent, but she's always enunciating very clearly so people can understand. It's a little bit more relaxed when she is around Mama Hattie, and she's just like,
All right.
yeah.
Now Moses, you need to come here too. I'm going to need you for something. I've got a present for you. Probably won't like it, but then again, you always like my presents. So maybe you will. Maybe you will. All right, come here. Come here. All right. She comes out and she pulls out like a small silver needle. And she's like, "You need to come in." She starts packing in herbs on this wound and she starts stitching it in. She's like, "Oh." She gives you a wooden spoon handle to bite in case. She starts stitching. You can get back 3. Oh, that's an ace. Sorry. That's an ace for her. Pardon. You can get back 4 vitality as she stitches you up.
And she's gonna just explain to Hattie and half patois and half just English and so on what has happened. And it's just gonna ask, "I don't know what to do, Mama. I don't know what to do, Mama. I don't."
Well, this is what we have to say. I have a present. I don't know which one of you should use it. Maybe that nice young man, Moses. And she looks at you. She reaches deep into her pockets and she pulls out a small, it's not really a knife, it's a blade, but it's about this big. And it's made out of obsidian rock. Very sharp with a little bit of a curve that you could sort of place along your finger. And it's got little, like sort of white paint symbols on it. She says, "You'll have to take this. I'm not fast as I used to be. You will know them if you cut them. They do not bleed blood because they are not. It's so tiring to keep everything up so long. So sorry. And she sort of reaches out with this small obsidian blade. She says, I got this from my dear friend. I'm so sorry. And she just hands it out. She doesn't know which one of you will take it.
I'll grab it.
Oh, this is from my friend, White Feather, the community on the other side of the hill. So tired. But when you cut them, they will bleed light. But I had dreams of never-ending slavery. There is a Bokor somewhere here. I don't know who. Someone who worships the law of the crossroads. And he screamed in my ears all last night. He said that he needed help, that he who ensnares others has been ensnared himself. I am too old. I can't. It's you young people who have to do this. Listen to me. I need you to pay very close attention right about now, because I have kept this other side of the city safe as long as I can. And it's a bit too much for me now. And I just need to rest. But you need to hear this. There's a Bokor, a man, and he's in a basement. That's what I saw. He's in a basement and it's not here. And he's made to work as he makes others work. And he is an evil man, but he is being made to do evil. And I just kept this town, my half, as safe as I could, but I can't anymore. I have to take a rest. Find him, my child. Belle, that's a name. It's a beautiful name. Listen to me. Both of you. All of our ancestors will give us power when we need it. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Mom, I hear you. Go on, rest now.
And she sits back, and a small necklace she holds, and she puts it in your hand, Belle. And she says, tell Nori that White Feather is waiting for her when this is all done. They must talk about repairing the land. And her life leaves her. But her life leaves her on her own terms. Safe. And you can hear the town gather outside, waiting to hear what you have to say. Nori's out there, gathered everyone. The people have gathered. And that, with the voice of a Bokor screaming in a basement somewhere, a cellar, dark, is where we leave the episode. For next week, you have some important things to do. Do you two leave at all to go outside?
Belle doesn't cry, right? Belle doesn't hardly wince or anything, even when she was getting sewed up. And she helps get Mama Hattie's body into bed and tucks her in and just focuses on getting a barrier of salt around that particular bed.
Do you look at that? Do you look at that necklace?
Mm-hmm.
It's plain, but she scratched something into the back. She's not a professional engraver, but it's your name, not Belle. It's your name. And Moses, this is definitely magical.
Mm-hmm.
It is protective.
Yeah, I think I just sort of like, touch a hand to Hattie's shoulder, send her home and kind of, nod, kind of, I'll start to move out and, kind of, sort of tap Belle on the shoulder and be like, okay, it's time.
Belle,
Then get ready to go.
Belle's gonna put the necklace on. Lightly crack her neck. I don't know nothing about being a sheriff, but it just takes a deep breath and starts to head out of the home so that they can go. The dress, she just said, mind the salt line. It just keeps.
Mm-hmm.
And Nori, as you gathered people, there's one thing you noticed. There is a cone from Miss Hattie's home that stretches out, and in that cone, the places that she could see, the crops are still thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our ending for tonight. I would like each one of you, my dearest and best players, to say who you are, where we can find you, and give some love to someone else, and then give one memory that your character has of Mama Hattie. And I want to start with Brandy. But you're muted.
I am muted. Sorry, my neighbors were being really loud and I didn't want it to ruin the tension that was going on. Hi, hello. So I had one of your Kuno. Hi, hello. I'm Brandy Rose at the Brandy Rose on Twitter, at Brandy Rose Official on Instagram, and at Cutest Patoot on TikTok and Twitch. What's a patoot, you might ask? It's a butt. I don't know. I called my followers cuties. They called themselves patooties. I went, this is your call. Okay. All right. I just gave you cutest patoot. I did not tell you what to do with it. But hi, hello. I am the head of the recently networked Patoot Podcast Network that is home to the 10, actually no, one of my shows is not in the network, 9 of the shows that I am the host and creative producer for. I am one of the creative producers also on another show where I'm the co-host, Chewing Gum for the Brain, that is out also, currently has its first volume of episodes coming out, so that's very, very exciting. I just announced my 10th show today, which is To Be Movie or To Not Be Movie. B movie the genre, not the B movie, which is something that I had to clarify several times today.
I'm
B
so
movie
excited.
the genre, like Sharknado, like Lavantula, like Piranaconda, personal favorite of mine.
Teenagers from Outer Space.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very excited about that one. It might actually have a very, very nice co-host you guys might be very familiar with. We will find that out this week. But yes, I am a talk show and general like show creative producer and host, as well as a TTRPG performer and game designer. I also teach game design on my Twitch when I'm not doing just chatting or gaming streams. So make sure to check that out. All of my info is on my Twitter. And Cringe Warning, one of my flagship shows, just dropped 3 episodes tonight, actually, to make up for the small hiatus that we had to go on. So those are all there. If you liked Danganronpa or Kami-sama Kiss, you'll probably enjoy those. If you also hate Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, you will also enjoy the episode I did on that, because spoiler alert, it is wrong. It's very wrong and I hate it. So you get to hear me blind react to those shows and then discuss them. So make sure you go head on over to Spotify, put in Brandy Rose, and most of my shows that are already out and running will pop up. But yes, some love and feedback before I get to Nori's memory. Everybody, as always, did fantastic. Creepy, not Raiden, scared the ever-loving crap out of me. Especially the shot in the head, that scene. Wow, that was a lot. That was very visceral. That was a very visceral scene. I did not expect, and I did not expect to lose Mama Hattie. So actually this time I'd like to give my flowers to you, Trooper, because that was amazing. The switch between NPCs is something that I admire every time, but we really had like a bunch of pretty intense scenes with a lot of NPCs today. So, and then like a lot of ones in between. So that was really, really great. And this was our first combat, and I think it was a really nice blend of mechanics and role play, which is always very important to me. So it was very engaging the whole time, which is great. 10 out of 10. I adore you and would recommend you to anyone and everything for everything, always. Richtig lieb hab. So so yes, that's this week I give my flowers to Trooper, because damn. And you just the eye patch, and James, you play James so perfectly. I couldn't have played him better myself, and I created him. So
I think he was kind of like a secret nerd. Do you know what I mean? I think he's a bit of a
such
dork.
A dork.
Yeah,
he's such a dork.
He tries to be
such
cool,
a
but he's kind of
dork.
a dork. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a dork. He's just a simp. He's just a dorky simp, and I love him so much. He's so pure. Golden Retriever boyfriend on steroids.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And then a memory that Nori has with Mama Hattie. I think it was when Nori first came to actually settle in and stay in town. Maybe even the pivotal moment of deciding to accept the position and hope and accept the ranch, because I could probably see, I think that Nori, because Nori lost her mom when she was 16.
Yeah.
Lived with her aunt her whole life, even before losing her mom. Yeah. Which is, it's a found mother, but the loss of her mother is still going to be something that was very hard for her. And especially being so far away from her family and traveling all the time, as is her nomadic nature. And I think Mama Hattie is very observant, sees all, truly omniscient, our beloved 521-year-old. And
indeed.
I think she watched Nori, probably didn't fawn over her at all like everybody else always did. Just kind of was observing at first, observed Nori coming, going at first, observed James following suit, observed their dynamic, and probably one evening when Nori was just out alone, had checked on the cattle while she was still kind of not really living there, but almost, but still hesitating. And I think she would have gone for a ride through town just to kind of, as wanderers wander. And I think she would have seen Mama Hattie maybe on the porch for once in the evening and gone over to say hi. And I think Mama Hattie would have called her on her flimsiness and would have just asked her like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I would have been like, writing. It's like, no, what are you doing here? Are you gonna just, you need to commit to something? Would have absolutely called her on that. And after getting Nori to admit that Nori actually does want to settle down more and wants to have one place to be home for once. And then maybe also like one person. So I think Hattie's probably the first person that Nori actually told that she had feelings for James and has always had feelings for James. It's probably the first person that she ever told, because you can't tell sisters shit.
No,
it's like shouting a secret into the full town square. You can't tell them that. They know, because but they don't know.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably Hattie that knew first, and actually a secret that Hattie ended up keeping, probably because Hattie was like, it's not a secret, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Also fair. Also, she keeps information to herself. You don't get to be 573 if you don't. Quinn.
Yeah. Quinn Murphy. Like I said before, design games. You can hear me talking about game and game design stuff. QH_Murphy on Twitter. So for shoutouts, definitely, Honey. I really liked the scene with Belle and Moses sort of like bonding there. That was just like a cool kind of scene, because I feel like they're the characters who are like in the crew who are most opposite on the surface, and then sort of having that bit to sort of talk, where it's like, actually we're like pretty, like internally we're actually like similar in a bunch of ways. We just have like a different, like, it's like the facade of the house is very different, but like when you walk in, it's the same floor plan and layout in a lot of ways. So that was just a really cool thing. So thanks there. Also, Trooper, Hattie, I was when Hattie went, I almost lost it. Like, I was just like, that was
She kept half that town safe.
Yeah, it just like bringing in all the, like, just bringing in all the like context and all of that stuff in like one scene. It was just like, And I'm just tossing them out to everybody right now, because I've got like a little bit for everybody.
Do
and
it.
Like, Randy, I just continue to like love seeing your characters like relationship with you, like especially in like all the crazy horrible stuff. This is like that sweet kind of like pure anchor that like, okay, like this is like, I feel, amongst other things, like being able to see that shows us like what we're fighting. One of the real things we are fighting for is to sort of, for those relationships to like continue to grow and like be worthwhile. Memory of Hattie. So shortly after, sort of like, Moses' parents leave the kids, and they're like, okay, here's your inheritance, like, the saloon and a bunch of like demon books, right? um and I'm just starting to get into it. Sort of, Hattie calls me in on like an errand, and she sort of is just like, okay, well, first, I just want to tell you, just because your parents were into some crap doesn't mean you have to be in that crap.
Yeah.
Right? You can always choose another path. You can always do your different stuff. But if you're going to go down that path, let me show you a couple things.
Yeah.
Right? And she sort of gave him like a lot of his ground up. The reason that he has like a guest house and not just like doing it in this way. So like a lot of these methods were things that she gave him. She's like, I can't keep you from exploding yourself, but if you want to, like, here's some things to like maybe not make it fatal. And just sort of, and and she was always someone who, if I had questions, I could check in with.
Yeah. Honey, the necklace is from the necklace is from the old country. She brought that from home. So, honey, who are you? Where can we find you? Give a shout out and then a memory of Hattie.
Hello, everybody. I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice. You can find me on Twitter at Honey and Dice. You can find most of what I'm working on, what I have worked on, and what I am planning on working on at honeyanddice.com. Or check out my Twitter. I'm going to put most of my stuff there. I am a charity and disability advocate. I do a lot of stuff. You can check my Twitter. I run games, I play games, I write games, but most of all, I just cheer everybody on and encourage everyone to love themselves, because this world is a better place simply because you all exist in it. And that's why I always encourage people to love your you. I want to give a shout out to each person because my favorite thing about this particular table, so to speak, is the real-time reactions. There's not a lot of time to sit back and plan and come up, and then we're going to do this, and then how about I do that? And everybody is reacting in such a real and raw way. And this system kind of allows for you to be like, I am a person who's been dropped into this, instead of I am a hero here to save the day.
Yeah.
So Nori, as the baby of the group, is going through their personal growth and relationships. Moses is figuring out who they want to be, you know, as a person, as an individual, and the nuances within that. Raiden's having such an original story that's still continuing even though the player is not present is also an amazing thing. And Trooper, you managed to bring everything together in such a seamless way, and really delve in mythology that is keeping Honey, the storyteller, just excited as I try to keep the excitement off my face, and my player horrified. Like, not my player, my character horrified. Like, my character is just like, no, like I left for a reason. Jesus Christ. And Memory of Hattie is probably when Belle first got to town. And Belle kept to herself, didn't really talk to that many people and so on. And was probably just settled out of where before she got her ranch house and whatever. Going through some ingredients and so on and shelling some peas. And then probably, you know, Miss Hattie came and sat down beside her and asked her what her name was. And she was like, it's just Belle. And Miss Hattie asked her if she was like born under a rock. You ain't got no people. Just Belle was like, okay. And gave her full name. And for some reason gave her actual birth name, which comes with its own history. That she probably doesn't know that much about herself, with her mother being Creole. And then after that, just every day came to see Miss Hattie, paid her respects, made sure she had her ingredients and everything. And so everyone in the audience can experience emotional damage too, was probably the closest thing to a female caregiver, caretaker, a maternal figure that she has had in a very long time, because it's been a minute. So she is dealing with a lot today.
I am Trooper SJP, and I'm your GM, your balladeer, and I want to give love to each one of these characters. I'm really excited for Danny to come back, because Raiden will come back with stuff, and I'm really excited to find out what you will all do next. We have one last episode, and what will you all do now that you know there's some very serious supernatural things that seem to be controlled by a very terrible human being, and I want to know what you're going to do about it. I don't know what you're going to do. What are you going to do? I want to know. I'm kind of excited to find out. And this is a great cast, and I will just, because we have to go, I will end with one memory of Mama Hattie. My memory of Mama Hattie is when she was 17 years old in what is now Ghana. And she was in her village, and there was a dance, and she was singing and dancing with her friends and her family. And she was given a necklace by the oldest woman in that village. And that necklace was said that it would protect her. And she kept it with her always until she gave it to someone else. And that is my memory of Mama Hattie. And so all of you all, thank you for being here. And we will see you next week for the conclusion of Haunted West, A Town Called Hope. And, my players, take 5 XP. And we will see you all next week, everybody. Bye. And thank you, Dot, for being our techie and our producer.